All right. Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. Yo, what it do, Shinigami? How you doing, bro? All right. Let me get ready. I need my spaghetti and my Ed Netty. Please, on this stream, someone remind me to order DoorDash on this stream. Laugh my ass off. I know, right? Tay? It's kind of what I want to. You got me wanting to talk about it, so figure why not. We can kind of just continue our conversation. You know what, Tay? One day I gotta have you live for a live. That'll be fun, bro. That'll be really fun if I have you live for a live, or even you, Shinigami. That'd be fun too. I gotta start bringing people up. So, let's see what the net thinks. While we're waiting for everyone, let's see what the net thinks. Like, how cold is Aokiji? Koribo, my man, what's up, bro? Bet, yeah, we can do that one day, didn't we? We can do that. That'd be fun. Hey, Karibo, let me ask you this, Karibo. If I like did a if I did a stream where I just brought people up to talk and chill and whatnot and just converse and exchange ideas, would you come up, Karibo? Because I'm pretty sure others would. Just curious, Karibo, would you come up? Caught up somewhat from the last stream. The debate was crazy. Yo, Shinigami, was that not the most wild shit, bro? Like, you would have thought I was a diehard One Piece fan the way I had to defend that series yesterday. It was crazy. Aokiji's ice, a major part of his abilities in One Piece, is not a specific cold temperature, but rather his ability to create and manipulate ice. It's often described as cold enough to freeze whatever he's targeting. While not absolute zero, it's considered quite cold, capable of freezing water and even air. One fan theory even suggests that Aokiji could potentially reach negative 210 degrees Celsius. Ooh. Maybe, depending on the timing. Okay, cool. That's what's up. I respect that. So how cold do we think Aokiji is, though, yo? I guess that's a hard question. Like, obviously the answer is he's very cold, right? That's the obvious answer. He's very cold. But you know what, Tate? Kind of like how I said before, maybe like without a statement, I don't know if we can like get him to absolute zero. I think right now the most we can do is say, okay, cool. Here's where his ice scales. These are the people he could probably freeze in cross verses based on who he can freeze in One Piece. I think that's kind of the most we could do. Just that damn Naruto fans don't read anything except Naruto. It's a damn shame. He has the Chocho fruit. Its ability allows him to lower temperature. Well, all right. Well, so then, like I said, bro, then it's more than likely just a matter of time before he does do an absolute zero feat. That's probably what it is. It's more than likely just a matter of time before he does an absolute zero feat then. What up, hater and fellow troll haters? You don't only troll, you don't only hater. Alright? Don't even think about including Karibo in that. Karibo is a very loyal Naruto fan to this stream. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about anyone else. You the only hater, Red. Definitely past negative 150. Okay. You can't be looking at those Sarda versus tweets until you catch up. Hey, man, nah, we ain't going to do that. I can look at whatever I want. You saw me in the Sarda versus Kaguya little debate thing. I was listening. Yo, twin, how you let Trip stand and cap yesterday? Like, we didn't see Goku versus Enel, and Goku couldn't harm Enel at all due to being lightning. Where was that happening, bro? I don't know what you talking about. Where was that happening? Diamond isn't a liquid. It can't freeze. It just gets really, really cold. Which I guess gives Aokiji massively class 100 plus strength, because that means he just ripped Jozu's arm off. Solids can't actually freeze, but after freezing Jozu, he broke off his arm. Either the ice froze it in a way to make the diamond more brittle, or Aokiji actually did that out of pure strength. Oh. Hey, what's good, Kai? Got a response to my question from the comments. What'd you ask, bro? Let me see. Which comment specifically, Shinigami? I thought I addressed them all. Just that damn Naruto fans don't read anything except Naruto. If it's that Naruto fans don't read anything except Naruto, like, I want to say that's not true, but like, honestly, the way some of these conversations be going, I don't know what else to think. I really don't. Making stuff colder makes it more brittle. Doesn't need to have water in it. If you freeze a hammer to negative 100 degrees, I would advise against using it. Solids can't be frozen. What the fuck are these things? Yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. Yeah. Also, Just Some Guy, I actually need a nickname for you, because Just Some Guy is kind of like a weird username. I need an actual nickname. Maybe Some. Or Guy. Or 9 Guy. Hey, bro, give me a nickname in the chat. Because saying Just Some Guy is really like... He's just some guy. I don't fuck with him. He's just some guy. Just some guy that joins my stream. But then again, maybe that's the appeal. He's just some guy that joins my stream. And it's a double entendre because you are just some guy that joins my stream. Maybe we'll keep the name. I like it. Let's do it. It's a special for a movie. Ino was going to destroy Tokyo or Japan, and Goku came to stop him, and he was getting cooked because he couldn't harm Ino. Look it up. It's 12 years old. So how are you saying I capped with that yesterday? I never said he couldn't hit Goku. Why you mad at me? I ain't do none of that shit. The one from the previous stream about Aizen and Iron Man and Kizaru. Oh, that. Yeah, you asked me about that. You asked me, could Iron Man, who uses like repulsor beams and things that can hurt intangible people, and then you asked me if Aizen could use Kurohitsugi to hurt Kizaru, I think, right? So, here's the thing. With this whole Logia counters thing, it's actually making me think more about stuff like that. And we know gravity is something that can bend light, right? Gravity can bend light. Black holes are pure torrents of gravity that can suck in light and bend light. So honestly, Kurohitsugi might be a quote-unquote elemental counter to light. We don't know. We probably will never know. Like maybe Fujitora versus Kizaru might shed light on that. As far as Iron Man's thing with the repulsor beams, I'm not familiar with his tech enough to make a judgment call on it. I don't think being able to harm intangible things is enough. But I'm pretty sure Iron Man could like make something to where it could harm Kizaru. He'd just have to know what he's dealing with. But I wouldn't put it past him. Aizen definitely, along with anyone that can use Keto, can hurt Logias. Oh, yeah, no. I definitely believe Bleach attacks will hurt them. But I think he was just talking about like Kurohitsugi based on the fact that it's a gravity attack specifically. Like, I think they're all working. Nah, you said AP can get through Logia intangibility. Goku proved that to be Capsar. No, I didn't say it could get through. Well, no. I didn't say as a fact it could get through Logia intangibility. The conversation we were talking about, though, was geared in that way because he was making a good point at the time. Since then, me and Tay have actually talked trip and actually have more information that actually leads to the conclusion that Logia's... that actually leads to the conclusion that Akainu was only really able to hurt Ace for specific reasons. Reasons we'll get into. We'll get into that. Trip. We'll get into that. So no, I never said like die on a hill. I never said. This nigga said my name could be Hippopotamus, Ascalamadus, Epipedidillo. Yes, you did, sir. I'm gonna pull the clip. Oh wait, so you gonna pull the clip? Send me the clip. Send me the clip. I said for a fact that AP can hurt Logias. I said that for a fact. You're gonna sit there and lie. You're gonna sit there and lie in the comments like I said that as a fact. That's crazy. It's dirty work. That's crazy and it's dirty work. Moonwalking is a lovely dance. I'll say that. Hey, Chad. Hey, Kai and Karibo. Kai Karibo Shinigami. Did I ever say for a fact that that higher AP could definitely 100% hurt Logias? Or was I suggesting that could be the case based on how the argument's going? I don't know why Red be playing with me, bro. I don't do nothing to this guy. He comes in the stream. He throws things around. Leaves his shoes out. Like, doesn't put his shoes by the door. Takes his shit with him. Let me stop. But yeah, man. So, let me do this for you guys, actually. Let me do this. So, thank you. Nope. But it was suggested because of Akainu hurting Ace. Thank you. Never said that for a fact. Shinigami says Iron Man has absorption that allowed him to absorb radiation, solar energy, gravity of Jupiter, and electromagnetic pulses. I also mentioned the energy absorption for him. Okay. If he's able to absorb radiation and things of the like, which light would actually fall into, then yeah, I see no reason. See, but that would kind of go more into sealing. Like if he was able to capture Kizaru in one of those contraptions or machines, he'd definitely be able to seal him. Oradon Wainwright solos One Piece. And no, you just said it's a strong argument based on everything presented. Thank you, Shinigami. Hey, Red, you down for 2, bro. Looking kind of crazy. You down for 2. All right. Let's go to this real quick. Because during the conversation we were having yesterday, guys, let's reiterate it since Red wants to bring it up. The conversation, of course, was that could Logias harm other Logias if high enough... I'm sorry, could anyone harm Logias if high enough AP was introduced into the equation? Now, I've since had a conversation with my twin brother about this conversation, and he pointed out there is a actual effect of magma that can smolder or cover fire, right? And stop the fire from getting air. Now, fire needs air to be fire. So if magma is covering the fire, it is effectively shutting off the fire's supply to oxygen, which fire needs oxygen to exist, right? And if we look at this scan right here, hold up. Where is it at? Not that. I don't know. Let me zoom in on it. Okay, yeah. If we look at this skin right here, Akainu says, "Did you get careless because you're a Logia type as well? You are merely fire. I am magma that consumes fire. My power completely outclasses yours." So there's actually some legitimacy to Akainu being able to hurt Ace now, right? Because we do find out that magma can actually smother fire. And if the magma is smothering fire and causing it to not be fire anymore because there's no air to give fire life, then technically Ace would revert back to his human form or his fleshy form or his tangible form. So This actually makes a lot of sense. That was obvious. Y'all was acting like Ace was star levels of heat. I kind of knew so hot he permanently set the sea on fire. So if it was so goddamn obvious, motherfucker, why didn't you say something about it yesterday? Why are we just now finding out it's obvious after Tay found the answer? Get him, Tay. Get him, Tay. Yeah, glow. Something to something to something, something. Yeah, ho. Like, bro, it couldn't have been that obvious. You ain't say it yesterday. But here's the thing where we got to be tricky about, right? We have to be tricky because there are different translations, there are different iterations, and we go with what's most accurate and consistent. This is not to say that we're going to throw everything I just said away. It's just we have to take it we have to take it with a grain of salt, right? So in this one, he says getting careless because you're a Logia type. You're just fire. My magma can burn even you. Now, this was a conversation me and Tay were having where it was like, well, okay, cool, hold up. Now it's not about smothering the fire, it's about burning the fire. So that kind of puts it back into the realm of speculation. But even then, you might argue that however much magma is on the fire, it still would be smothering it, causing Ace to be tangible where the magma is on. Because it's a fact that magma smothers and puts out fire because the fire can't have any oxygen. So yeah, that's how we would do that. Magma consumes flames, basically making it. Iron Man has a legitimate. Iron Man has a legitimate but separate Infinity Stone, which is imagination. He literally could make essentially anything, like shit. Yeah, he got the Reality Stone, LOL. But the fact he now has Mysterium armor is crazy. I didn't even know that. That thing negates magic. That's crazy. Magma consumes flames, basically making it a counter to Ace's Devil Fruit. Basically, in so many words, yes. That was obvious. Yeah, it wasn't so obvious because he never explained it. Because I was busy at work, LOL. You lying your ass off. You was busy at work. Stop it. You could have just typed in magma consumes fire. It takes 5 seconds. Lying. Green Bull victims fighting amongst each other. That's actually funny, actually. If smothering fire is all it takes to hurt Ace, then if you strip oxygen from around Ace, that'll also work. But even then, from what Akainu said, still gives credence to the higher AP. It does. It does, right? It's not to say that one is completely right or one is completely wrong. I think we take them both into consideration, honestly. And that's why I kind of need to see Akainu versus another Logia. I need to see him versus another Logia. Because here's the thing. I think Michael said that you can't just presume a Logia's weakness or traits because it like might seem convenient. Like I think he said Aokiji isn't automatically weak to lava. But if Aokiji's natural counter is fire and lava burned fire, then his natural counter should also be magma, which burned fire. If we're taking that route. If it's the smothering thing, then it's like, well, all right, maybe. But even still, the fact that it's hotter, because there are translations where he says he burns hotter, or like he can burn even him, suggesting that it's the potency of the heat that's hurting Ace, right? So yeah. Red is painting the biggest target on his back ever, and even gave a homing bullet with his name on it. Hey yo, Red know he my nigga, man. It's all good. Okay, yeah. So, well, actually, were there any other interpretations or iterations of him burning Ace? Let me see. Oh, yeah. See, I've never seen that one. What did he say right there? He says, just because we are both Logia and you got careless, you're just fire while I am lava, which burns even fire. Okay, yeah. Then he says, our powers are in a relationship of superiority. Okay, so that's interesting, because that would actually give more credence to magma being superior to fire, being that it can put it out. But he didn't say put it out, he said burns hotter. So, kind of hard to tell. Feels like the Yamamoto versus Lloyd Royd discussion. What did Lloyd mean by Yamamoto's spiritual pressure feel like Fire. It is. Yeah, it's all love trip. Me and Twin will make you turn your back on mid-leash. Never, bro. Never. It can't happen. It can't happen. In my opinion, Bleach has the best power system. It has the most consistent scaling out of the big three, in my opinion. With One Piece, it can literally go anywhere and anywhere and anywhere. With Naruto, you got people lying. Bleach has the most consistent scaling, in my opinion. People say it's inconsistent, but that just means you're scaling it incorrectly. It's very fucking consistent. Alright, so cool. We covered Akainu burns Ace. We kind of talked about Aokiji a little bit. I want to get into some videos. I want to watch Eon's video. Oh, let me get my charger. Life could be a dream if I could take you to a paradise up above. And you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Shaboom is hoping we meet again. Hey, ding dong, shalango, lango, lango. Oh ho, wow. Zazimbada, ho ho. Alright, so yeah. We still got about like 3 videos to watch on my list. One of them was Revenants, but he's not here yet, so we won't be watching his video. Let's see, did we watch this one already? Guys, don't forget, tell me to order DoorDash around like 9 o'clock or something. Oh yeah, Caesar Clown versus Gojo. This seems like it could be fun. Hold up, getting a call. What's good, John? I'm live. Make it quick, Juan. I'm live. Got a show to run.
You on TikTok?
I'm on YouTube. Where are you coming from?
I'm about to go to Chipotle.
Okay, gotcha. I'm probably gonna order out tonight.
You want Chipotle?
No, thank you, my friend. I think I'm gonna get Red Robin again. I think I'm gonna see. I don't know. Not Chipotle though. I kind of had too much of that. But text me. These clowns still haven't texted me, Juan. I don't know what's happening tomorrow, but I'm about to get out of here. All right, text me. Yeah. Oh my, Eon got the lobotomy perk when his balls dropped. I don't know what that means, bro. What is that even? What am I supposed to do with that? He got the lobotomy perk when his balls dropped? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Red Robin. Yum. Yeah. Bleach scaling is a bit wonky. Okay, Kuribo, while we're watching this video, just tell me why you think it's a bit wonky exactly. Like, tell me what point, like, where in the story does it get wonky? Exactly.
Satoru Gojo, Mr.
Oh, what the fuck?
Or a former. Gojo isn't just the strongest.
Okay.
Satoru Gojo.
Let me make sure we can hear. You know what's funny? I'm going to start using your name as a pun. Yeah, so the other day, like, Kuribo and just some guy started disagreeing with me. Like, who? Yeah, just some guy. I don't know his name. Just some fucking guy. He started disagreeing with me. He said bleach scaling doesn't work. Just some fucking guy. He's a fucking idiot. You believe that, Paulie? Yeah, this fucking guy. I think that's how I'm I think that's how I'm going to start addressing you. This fucking guy. Yeah. He said bleach scaling doesn't make sense. Get a load of this guy. This fucking guy. Just some fucking guy. I like sounding like an Italian. It's fun. I'm not going to lie. All right, let me make sure that the audio is hearable for you guys real quickly. But yeah, Kuribo and just some fucking guy. Explain me how the bleach scaling doesn't make sense. You tell me it's wonky. Tell me how it's wonky. Okay, where is the actual Alright, cool. Not that one. Where's the other one?
Gojo, Mr. Aura Former. Gojo isn't just the strongest sorcerer, he's a walking game-breaking glitch. His infinity ability, it makes him untouchable. His 6 eyes lets him see cursed energy at a molecular level. And his hollow purple deletes.
Can everyone hear? Can everyone hear? Can everyone hear? First off. Naruto is the most consistent of the big three. Yes, it is. If you scale it correctly, it is the most consistent of the big three. I'll give you that. Man, get you a burger, big and juicy. Hey, I'm a vegetarian, bro. I don't even do that. Bleach scaling is a bit weird. Tell me how. Shinigami says, what am I to you then? Oh, y'all don't know. Me and Shinigami. Shinigami is probably like one of the first people I've interacted with, like as far as like a how do I say this? Like when I really started like getting out there as far as like talking on Twitter and debating and stuff like that, Shinigami was one of the first people, right? And I think Tay might remember this too. Me and Shinigami would be getting into Naruto guys' asses, bro. It was so fucking funny because I'd see him on post and stuff, and I'd just hop on his post, and he'd see me in some conversations. He would hop on mine. It was hilarious, bro. Pause. Pause. I know some of y'all are young and nasty. Pause. Pause that all the way. But yeah, that's the Shinigami. You know you're my day one homie, bro. You know that. All right. Oh Lord, you're a vegan. No, I'm a vegetarian, bro. I'm a vegetarian. Vegetarian, not a vegan. Can't do full veganism. That's expensive.
Satoru Gojo, Mr. Aura Former. Gojo isn't just the strongest sorcerer, he's a walking game-breaking glitch. His infinity ability, it makes him untouchable. His 6 eyes lets him see cursed energy at a molecular level. And his hollow purple deletes anything in its path. But what really makes him terrifying? He loves to flex. Gojo doesn't just win. He embarrasses opponents, gets in their heads, and makes them question their life choices before effortlessly wiping them out. Fighting Gojo isn't about winning. It's about realizing you've never had a chance.
7, 8, 9, and that should do it.
Caesar Clown, the evil genius of Punk Hazard. Caesar Clown is what happens when a mad scientist decides ethics are optional. His gas fruit lets him suffocate, poison, and melt enemies with a smirk. But his real weapon isn't gas, it's manipulation. He lures enemies into thinking they have the upper hand, only to flip the script when it's too late.
You're telling me Caesar clashed with Luffy? Mind you, this is base Luffy, but like, alright.
That goofy grin is a ruthless tactician who doesn't just fight, he makes sure you never get to breathe again. For this video, I'm going to explain Gojo's abilities first, then Caesar's. And only then am I going to put them against each other to see who's the strongest fighter. Satoru Gojo. His moves are limitless. This technique grants its users nigh absolute control over space through cursed energy manipulation at an atomic level, with the manipulation of space as just the base level of the technique.
Sound?
Infinity. Being the neutral form of limitless, the true power of infinity is to slow things down. When something attempts to hit Gojo, the person or object in question instead hits the infinity between himself and them. According to Gojo, this is a convergence of infinite series and comes straight from the paradox of Hercules and tortoise. Akin to the way of Archelaus will never catch the tortoise due to the potential infinite amounts of finite space separating them, or how the real number 1 will never touch the real number 2 due to the infinite amount of fractions that separated them. The opponent will never touch Gojo due to the infinity between them. Gojo has programmed infinity to be constantly active and automatically target.
Won't lie, we all kind of know how Gojo's abilities work at this point. If you don't know how Gojo's abilities work, go watch my video. I break it down in like a minute very easily, like literally like a minute. So we don't need a breakdown on Gojo's abilities. For this, I kind of just want to understand how the fight plays out in his opinion. Gojo's speed. Gojo's speed might be interesting. We'll stop there. Let me read some comments real quick. Oh Lord, you're a vegan. Vegetarian. Day one homie, bro. That's a fact. Day one homie. Do you not like the idea of eating Bambi or Franklin? Oh, Bambi. Yeah, meat. You know what? This is a side tangent. Hey, Kai, on another stream, we can get into that all day, every day, and I'll tell you the exact reason, moment, and decisions that made me become a vegetarian. We can do that for another stream, though. We can do that for another stream. Probably not this one, or maybe towards the end of this one I can get into it. But that's a long story. It's a very big rabbit hole, and shit, I might convert you by the end of it. Honestly, I might convert you. So yeah, let's get into his speed. Let's see if he's going to wank or if he's going to...
JJK rumors. Kashimo is not massively hypersonic just because he can create a lightning discharge. Attack speed does not equal combat speed or travel speed. Also, his other attacks don't equal that speed either. The reason he doesn't have that speed in general is because no one in that verse has shown to dodge that attack. Even when Kashimo's in his mythical beast form, it's not stated that he moves at that speed. Kashimo's EM waves is what I've seen them call in some translations. I'm not sure if they are, but let's assume they are EM waves. Nowhere is it shown to be an actual attack. These EM waves are covering his body, and even covering his sound wave attacks. He's pretty much a glorified microwave outputting insane radiation dosage. But let's give Kashimo the benefit of the doubt and say it's actually an EM wave attack. Then that means it's a close light feed from Sukuna, right? Wrong again, it's aim dodging. Also, Gojo wouldn't equal the Sukuna either. Gojo's speed would be equal to the Sukuna he fought against, not the one that was more powerful. One last point to make about speed. Toji reacting and dodging lightning is an anime-only feat. I tried to find the manga panel, but I couldn't, so no one in JJK can scale to that or above that. But even if I did scale Gojo to the anime-only clip, the outcome would still be the same. So non-canon feats aren't needed. Caesar Clown, on the other hand, was able to catch a base Luffy off guard multiple times, given that Luffy, even in his base form, has demonstrated faster than light reaction speeds like dodging Pacifista lasers, pre-time skip, and reacting to Kizaru's lightspeed attacks. This implies Caesar is at least comparable in speed. Attack and destruction potency. Gojo's hollow purple.
Okay, so I'm not mad at his speed scaling. This seems like some pretty honest speed scaling. He didn't take the EM wave that everyone does for JJK and say, oh, look, he dodged the EM waves, or oh, look, EM waves, therefore light speed, therefore this speed. He didn't do that. That's really good. He didn't even take the anime exclusive only dodging lightning. That being said, I don't think I got a definitive or decisive speed scale for his JJK scaling. I don't think I got that. That's fine. As far as Luffy, he didn't say, oh, look, Luffy dodged light, therefore light speed. That's good. He said he can react to light. I think that's fine. He reacted to Kizaru's attacks. That's fine. But nowhere does Luffy ever cover the same amount of distance that the light covered in the time that the light was fired at him. So therefore, he's not light speed yet. At least that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. Right? So that was good. I don't know. I might need to go back. Did you guys get a speed scale for his JJK scaling? I don't think I got an actual speed scale. Don't think I got one. Twin, we know Trip don't want beef with us at all now. Laugh my ass off. Hey, Red, he a vegetarian too. What's up? What's up? You don't want beef with us now, do you, nigga? Yeah, he a vegetarian too. What's up? Going cleaner being no diff to excitement at a mountain's destruction. Put that above it. There's Gremmy's bullets and making himself vaguely harder than steel instead of light arrows or blute vein. The difference between captains and lieutenants is all over the place. Not knowing the name of one Zanpakuto lowers power times, but then there's Ichigo not knowing his still puts Ichigo at captain. They don't like hearing Caesar Clown is comparable to light speed. Alright, let's quickly go over Karibo's. So going cleaner being no diff to excitement at a mountain's destruction puts that above it. So yeah, the appeal for Aizen was that just in basically moving his sword, he can vaporize mountains or pulverize small hills, if you want to even call them that. That's the appeal in it, and it was off of air pressure. He didn't use Bakudo, he didn't use Ahado, he didn't use anything, but look. That was the appeal in that whole thing. That was the appeal in that whole thing, yeah. There's Gremmy's bullets and making himself vaguely harder than steel. So here's the thing. We've already been over this, Kribo. Your Reiatsu and the things that you make/do would actually scale to you, since in the series, Reiatsu does equal stats, right? How many times do I have to go over this with you? How many times do I have to go over this with you, bro? Your Reiatsu would scale to your attacks. Your Reiatsu would scale your speed, etc., etc., etc. So, when he's making guns, when he's summoning lava and meteors and all these things, the fact that he can harm captains and people on Kenpachi's levels means they can harm him. The AP comes in the form of Reiatsu. Reiatsu would equal AP at that point. The difference between captains and lieutenants is all over the place. All right, so it's not really all over the place. I would need some concrete examples of what you mean, though. Right? It's not really all over the place. We know that captains have a spirit energy level of class 3 and higher. We know lieutenants sit somewhere between 6 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. 6 and 4. So, yeah. I need more examples, though, with that. Not knowing the name of one Zanpakuto. But not knowing the name of one Zanpakuto lowers your powers, yes. But that's a Shinigami exclusive issue or problem that they have. And I don't see any problem with that, because the Zanpakuto is how they mainly draw their power. That's where their power comes from, right? So yeah, if you're using the wrong name to call on your own power, yes, it would make sense that it's actually nerfed. But then there's Ichigo not knowing his... So the thing with Ichigo, though, is that Old Man Zangetsu was actively, like, taking an active role in Ichigo's development and his power and all this other stuff. And here's the thing. It wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie. He was Zangetsu. What he wasn't, though, was the true source of his power. He was Zangetsu. They're both Zangetsu. That's the whole thing. So Ichigo did know the name of his Zanpakuto. He didn't know that his Zanpakuto in the form of Old Man Zangetsu wasn't the actual center of his spirit energy, right? That was supposed to be Hollow White in his Shinigami powers. So he was like messed up on that front, but no, he always knew Zangetsu from the moment, whatever. I feel like I like the peak videos. I know you're mad as fuck at his 3 Bleach videos, though. Oh, no, I haven't seen any of his Bleach videos. Let me see real quick. No. I'll take a look after. There's a statement that Candace's lightning was 5 gigajoules and it destroyed Ichigo's oaken clothings. So, I mean, that was Candace in her base firing an arrow. And it had the strength of a regular lightning bolt, I think, or something like that. I don't know why that would be a downplay. I don't know why that would be bad. Here's the thing. No one in Naruto is taking Candace's arrow without some type of shield, cloak, armor, or whatever. They're all dying by that thing. Ichigo sat there and ate it like it was nothing. So I'm not understanding how that is inconsistent. Captain level and head captain is also unknown. Well, so head captain level is more on, I think, authority. Not even authority. It's more based around, at least this is just my opinion, it's more based around who is the most responsible, who has the most tenure, and the most qualified to lead. I think that's what that would be based around. We actually understand how you can become a captain. So I don't know why this fucking guy is saying this, because we do actually have the standards for... There's literally a captain's test / exam, right? You can be recommended by some captains and get recommendations from the other captains, or you can literally just kill the current captain and take their squad that way. Most of JJK caps at lightning speed, but Gojo or Sukuna could potentially have light speed feats, but they are definitely faster than lightning. That I can say at the very least. I'll have to get into the series myself. How do you guys feel about that? I was thinking about reading JJK live as well. How do you guys feel about that? Not starting from the beginning, obviously. I'd start where I'm at in the series, and I'm at the Sendai Colony, basically. So Yuta, Solo, Sendai Colony, that's where I'm at. So we'd start there and just go forward. How do you guys feel about that? Is anybody going to remind one smart over Minato getting hit by a splinter? Or how about Naruto and Sasuke can barely take a small fall? Naruto getting stabbed? Naruto getting... You got Minato getting hit by a splinter. You got Obito taking one too many paper bombs from Konan, someone who scales massively below him, or should, to the head, almost dying from those. You have Kashin Koji dying from stone. You have Ishiki dying from natural fire. You have Madara getting stabbed in the back and dying from that. The list goes on. The list goes on. Talk about inconsistency. I was running out of letters. My statements were cut short. Okay, I got you. Are Grimmy's bullets, missiles, lava, and meteor all equal because they are made from his Reiatsu? Are they all equal? No, because there will still be a potency effect. Bullets are going to have a different outcome and an effect than a missile would. Same thing as lava would. The point is, though, that since the attacks are coming from him, someone who scales to Kenpachi, mind you, let's do it like this. If 5th seat Ayasagawa had Gremmy's ability, no, I don't even want to use Imichika. If a 6th seat had Gremmy's ability, but wasn't as strong as Grammy because he's a 6th seat, he's not hurting anyone with his abilities. He's not hurting anyone with his abilities. Remember I said in Dragon Ball Z, their series establishes that's how you have to hurt them first. Literally, it's the same thing with Bleach. It's the same thing with Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the same thing with Hunter x Hunter and JJK when you're using your power system. Oh, God. You have to scale to the energy system of the person you're hurting in these series. Like, I don't know how many times I have to bring up Kenpachi not being able to be cut. I don't know how many times I have to show you Ukiyoda blocking a Getsuga with spirit energy. I don't know how many times I have to show you that when Ichigo uses a holified Bankai, when Ichigo uses a Getsuga Tensho on Grimmjow, it has a different effect than when he uses it on, who did he use it on right after that? Well, no. Even just going more forward, right? Ichigo, when he first uses his Bankai and uses a Getsuga on Grimmjow, can only scar him and basically do no damage, according to Ichigo. It did no damage, but it scarred him, right? Then Ichigo trains, gets stronger, gets a Hollow Mask, gets a boost in Reiatsu and all this other stuff. And now he's able to blitz Grimmjow while Grimmjow's in base and heavily injure him while Grimmjow is in base and he has his mask on. Then Ichigo gets stronger again because he's fighting more. He's getting more closer to death in these fights and stuff like that. We see his holified Getsuga can't even do jack shit to Ukiyoda, right? Can Ukiyoda block it with both hands? No, but it doesn't do jack shit to Ukiyoda, right? Ukiyoda puts a hole through Ichigo, one taps him, bam. Well, he does a Sero, then he one taps him, but then Ichigo was also protecting Nell, so there's also that to account for. But then we get the Ichigo versus Grimmjow the third time, and guess what? Now they're even because of all the things Ichigo has been through, right? So, at no point, and mind you, in Naruto, this would never work because the only things that would change are Naruto's tactics. Naruto doesn't have to get stronger to hurt people. He can already hurt people. People aren't scaling to the chakra that they output or that they have. He doesn't have to get stronger to hurt anybody. Ichigo has to train. He has to up his Reiatsu. He has to up his techniques. He has to up his speed and all this other stuff to hurt people in his series. There's literally a hierarchy. Like, the Espada are literally a power hierarchy. The higher you can go, the better you can do. It's literally that simple. We know from Ichigo's fight with Ukiyoda that he would have no problem taking Espada's fucking forearm down. And you can even debate he would be able to take on Holybell and people like Grimmjow and Stark. You can actually argue that. In fact, since his battle with Gin, who should scale above all of them, mind you, Ichigo lost the game. He lost pretty badly to Gin because Gin's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You're getting your ass whooped. Get out of here. You don't even look like you're confident. Get out of here. He lost the Gin. But that would still put him in the realm of those upper three Espada. It would. It would absolutely do that. Right? And then we get to the fucking strongest person of them all. We get to Sosuke Aizen. Ichigo can't do a thing to Sosuke Aizen. He can't react to him. He can't hit him. Aizen can blitz him whenever he wants. Distance means nothing if your opponent outscales you. Literally Aizen's words, and he shows it to Ichigo. What does Ichigo do? He doesn't learn new. He doesn't think about tactics to beat Aizen. Why would tactics work? You're weaker. In Naruto, you think about tactics to beat stronger people. That's what you do in Naruto. You think about tactics to beat stronger. You think about tactics to beat people that you can't overpower with power. Like what? So, he goes to the Dangai. He trains for 6 months in his inner world, and now he has enough power to beat Aizen. He doesn't use a tactic. He uses power. I hope that rant was enough. All right. Read JJK live is dope. All right, bet. We got one for Kai. Yumishika intentionally nerfs himself by calling the wrong name of his sword, but when he wants to get serious, he calls the real name. And guess what? When Yumishika gets serious, he beats Shuhei. Shuhei was one of the strongest lieutenants at the time of Katakura Town. He beat Shuhei. And you can't say Shuhei was off guard because even if you want to say that, the fact that Yumishika's ability still has to go at you, it still has to attack you, means that Shuhei was too slow to dodge it. Shuhei didn't have enough power to break out of it. And you can't even call it an off-guard feat because they were standing right face to face. The fight was still going on. Yumishika said, hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm not dead yet. So it's not even an off-guard feat. Please don't read mid on stream. Rather have you read Bleach's novels first. Oh, God, bro. Oh, God. Read Bleach's novels on stream? No. Never. I don't think I'll do that. That's crazy, bro. Minato is just that fast. Sorry, he doesn't get a speed force shield. Kid Naruto went head first off a cliff. Naruto was stabbed by Sasuke's sword. So yeah, and this is a conflation that they always do. I'm not saying Naruto characters aren't stronger than humans, right? There can be measurably stronger than us basic humans. What I'm saying is you don't need to scale to their energy system to hurt them. That's never shown, stated, or suggested to be the case in their series at all. All these people can hurt all these people. Again, there's no such thing as a stronger ninja. That is a misnomer. There's only better skilled ninja. Everyone can fight everyone. Everyone can hurt everyone. It just comes down to who has better techniques, who has better strategy, and who has better, who's a better ninja. Yeah, better technique, strategy, who's a better ninja. That's literally it. That's literally it. Nothing stops Itachi from hurting Madara at all. Right? The only time this changes in Naruto is when we actually get to the war arc. And then, ninjutsu's not going to work on him. That's when the field starts to change a little bit for Naruto. But that's still inverse. Right? The only reason people can't demonstratively beat Obito and Madara is because they have fucking crazy regen and most of their techniques won't work on them due to the properties of the TSO. But then guess what? My guy evens the playing field again, showing us that strong enough taijutsu, which pretty much everyone in Bleach has and everyone in One Piece has, strong enough taijutsu can kill these motherfuckers. So there you have it. Being stronger is actually a misnomer until you get to people like Kaguya and above and Madara and Jubito and Jubidar and all that stuff. Being stronger is a misnomer. Asuma can hurt Hidan and Kakuzu. Hidan and Kakuzu can get hurt by Konohamaru. Konohamaru, even at that age, can hurt someone like Deidara. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, bro. Danzo died from Sasuke. Shuriken. Oh my fucking god. Danzo used Izanagi on Shuriken. But Kuribo's going to say, that was Shuriken Jutsu and he was enhancing his Shuriken. I don't care. He died by Shuriken. He died by Shuriken. Sasuke then used a Susanoo to block a kunai. Candace wasn't base. She amped herself and Kashin Koji. What? No, she was definitely base. She was definitely base. She said die from a shot or two of my highlight file. You know what? We'll check it after this. What amp did Candace get? Thank you. Minato got that splinter because of the bomb. Meanwhile, in the series, Naruto and Sasuke just getting fatigued from that fall. And what makes Sasuke's sword special? Not a thing. Oh, you were just ignoring the entire fight they had. Naruto absorbed nature energy and Sasuke absorbed the other Bijo and amped himself. Then they used their max powers to go back in base. A fine nickname is Nick for me. Nick? I bet. I like Nick. Nick at night. Nick at night. Let me stop. Stronger means stronger. They say better ninja when they mean better ninja. Did I ignore you? Should have got me. Hold up. I thought I read your thing. Let me go back. What do you say? I already read that one. Is anyone going to remind one smart over Minato getting hit by Splinter? I read that. What amp did Candace get? I definitely read that. Minato got the Splinter because of the bomb. Meanwhile, I read that one. Naruto absorbed nature energy. Naruto absorbed Sasuke absorbed the. I read that one. Literally read the right. Oh, literally read that fight so much because my girlfriend gave me the volume with the fight in it. Okay, it might have been that one I missed. Stronger means stronger. They say better ninja when they mean better ninja. They never say better ninja. That's not even true. Better ninja is actually never mentioned. That's actually never mentioned. Right? So no, stronger does not mean stronger. Stronger is a misnomer for actually just being a better ninja. There's no stronger. Because how would you quantify the strength? Like, for example, here's a great fucking example. Hidan doesn't have better AP than Sakura. Right? But if you take Hidan versus Sakura at the point that she was fighting Kakuzu, I got Sakura getting tagged by Hidan. I got Sakura being able to punch Hidan so hard he goes through the fucking wall, but she's not stronger than him. I'm sorry, she is stronger than him. He's not stronger than her. Right? Because strength isn't just a single stat. If strength isn't just a single stat, and it's multiple stats that can make you better, at least in Naruto. Shuriken thrown by Sasuke. Like Sasuke throwing the Shuriken makes them more dangerous than if Konohamaru threw the fucking Shuriken. It's 8:50. Time to order your food, big brother Momonga. Like shit. Thank you, Tad. Appreciate it. Imagine if we say what One Smart says for everything he mentioned about Bleach. It'd be crazy. If One Smart was a Bleach fan, bro. If One Smart was a Bleach fan, bro, I'd have to tell him to chill out. I'm like, hey, yo, chill, Kurama, chill. You doing too much. But he's a Naruto fan. If he was a Bleach fan, that would be hilarious. Thank you, Tim. I'm going to order right now, actually. All right, DoorDash. All right, while I order, we can listen to the video.
Destroyed all this. So, like at least large town level up to small city level. But you also have to take into account that this Gojo is powered up. So this feat isn't his alone. So he should scale lower than this, but I'll give it to Gojo because he needs it. Now Caesar has no real feats, but he should at least be stronger than Hody, who could fight a nerf Luffy underwater who's at minimum island level by this point. So Caesar is island level. Comment down below with your opinion on the results, or comment again if you change your mind. Just reply to your own comments. Win cons: oxygen removal. Caesar's most dangerous ability is his oxygen manipulation. He can create a large area devoid of oxygen. This ability is a hard counter for most opponents, and it doesn't rely on a direct physical attack, but rather on environmental manipulation. Gojo only has one way to win, and that's to use his domain. By using unlimited void, Caesar wouldn't be able to keep himself in his Logia state, making him an easy target. This match might sound very one-sided, but it's not. Gojo's hacks allows him to hold his own against Caesar. Based on their personalities and their track record, Caesar would start with a poison gas from a good distance away. Caesar fights very cowardly, so he fights from a distance, unless he's antagonized or is forced to fight hands-on. Gojo's Infinity should be able to block because it's always on, and it can stop poisons. I'm not 100% sure if it can stop all poisons, even ones that don't exist on Earth, but let's say it does. Gojo's first thing would be to use blue, but it would be too slow compared to Caesar's reaction time. As soon as he sees Gojo getting ready to attack, Caesar would know his poison has failed and use Gastanets. Before Gojo can even finish blue, Gastanets is a large explosion that wouldn't per se hurt Gojo because of Infinity, but it might be powerful enough to send him flying from the force. If this fails too, Caesar is done playing, and he'll use Katakuni. Katakuni is Caesar's attack where he cuts all oxygen in his range, including the oxygen inside of you. Caesar's attack works in a really fast way. He takes the oxygen out of you really fast, and Gojo isn't fast enough to operate to escape that move. He would need to be able to think and move faster than guys who are faster than light. The reason I don't include 6 eyes is because it's useless against another verse. His 6 eyes are perfect for his verse, but they don't do anything against verses that have any other power system. This is because the series states that his 6 eyes work by analyzing cursed energy and cursed techniques, and see the flow of cursed energy and cursed techniques. This combined with Gojo's intellect makes the technique busted in the JJK verse. It's basically a pseudo precognition. Gojo wouldn't be able to analyze and know what Caesar's doing. There's also a massive difference. While Gojo is still analyzing what Caesar's doing, Caesar has already started to do something else. At the speed Caesar moves, it's almost like Gojo's moving in slow motion. Now to everyone who's gonna say, Gojo would start with unlimited void, you're just wrong. I put Gojo's fighting style through my percentage program, and based on all his previous fights, Gojo has a at max 10% chance of starting with unlimited void, and that would only be after he gets attacked by Caesar and notices his 6 eyes don't work on Caesar. Gojo will always start with Infinity and 6 eyes, because they're always active, and then go into blue for offense. Gojo's cocky and playful attitude would work against him in this fight too. And also, Caesar doesn't have the aura to scare Gojo into using Unlimited Void right away. Finally, Gojo's reverse curse technique will not work. What Caesar does is to cut oxygen all around and inside your body. That's why it works so fast, and it speeds faster than what Gojo could react to. And finally, the reverse curse technique heals you, but it doesn't create more oxygen for you. Now I'll explain why certain techniques won't work against Caesar. Blue is useless because Caesar is gas, and can create more gas, and change where his true body is at a faster rate than what Gojo can pull him. Maximum. Using maximum by pushing Caesar away also isn't going to work because he can do what I said earlier to avoid maximum. Red isn't going to do anything either because, like I said, Caesar can create an infinite amount of his gas and move his true body around that has to avoid the push, and the explosion won't do anything because he's a Logia, meaning he's intangible. And purple isn't going to do anything against Caesar because he's a Logia. He's intangible. The only way any of these techniques could land on Caesar is if Unlimited Void is already active and he's still under the effects of it. Caesar's ability to remove oxygen from large areas is a major threat.
I like this guy.
Gojo's Limitless can block physical and energy-based attacks. It's clear it can't protect him from the environmental manipulation like oxygen deprivation. If Gojo activates Unlimited Void, it's an instant win condition. However, Caesar's massive speed difference allows him to disrupt Gojo's concentration or escape the domain's range before it fully activates. Caesar is overconfident and loves to toy with his opponents, often underestimating them. However, he's also highly intelligent and will adapt his tactics. If he realizes his initial attacks aren't working, this mixed with his cowardly nature will lead him to use oxygen removal early in the fight.
I like this guy. He's really good at breaking down both of their, like, how it would kind of go and why they would interact the way they do, as far as like well, first off, him not jumping right to domain was a really good point or two, because Gojo is like pretty playful. Like Yuha's kind of playful too, I'm seeing too. Like he doesn't just jump right to using 6 eyes. But so far so good. Literally read the fight so much. Oh yeah. Stronger means stronger, no. Damn, got ignored. I don't know how you think you're getting ignored, bro. I read your comments. Shuriken thrown by Sake literally doesn't mean anything. Oh, I already read this stuff. Imagine if we say what One Smart says for everything he mentioned about Bleach. Oh, yeah. I'm way behind, yeah. They mentioned Splendid Ninja. The Raikage literally mentioned there's no ninja better than Minato. Yeah, that's ambiguous. That's ambiguous. And where would he get that from? Where would he get that idea from? He done could kill the shit out of Sakura. Didn't Gojo say after figuring out how to make Limitless automatic that he also was working on detecting poisons with it as well. Then again, we never got a confirmation that he succeeded with it though. No, I got ignored by One Smart. Oh, okay. I was about to say, bro, I thought I read all your comments. Okay. Yes, he did actually say he was working on how to do it, but like you just said, he never actually confirmed if he did do it. Yuha isn't really playful with anyone outside of Ichigo. That's true. Actually, you're right. You're right about that. Ooh, thank you for saying that. That's true. He's really not playful with anyone outside of Ichigo. For some reason, Ichigo just like makes him want to fucking have fun out there and stuff. But you know, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Because he didn't play with Yamamoto's ass at all. He definitely wasn't playing with Ichibei at all. So yeah, you're right. By the way, Mayuri versus Caesar, or Askin versus Caesar. They both beat him. They both beat Clown. They both beat him. Mayuri's going to put Caesar Clown in a jar. Because, well, first off, Caesar's going to tell Mayuri he's like a scientist. Mayuri's going to get offended at the fact that Caesar thinks he's a scientist. Mayuri's going to drug Caesar somehow, some way. Oh, yes, he is. Bet your bottom dollar that Mayuri is somehow going to drug Caesar. Just see it happening. And then he's going to put Caesar in a jar and write his name on the label. Askin is a much more slow fight because Askin is a slow starter himself. If Caesar attacks him with anything that doesn't immediately kill him, which I doubt Caesar has anything to do, Askin's just going to adapt and then put his own poison on Caesar. Like, whatever gas Caesar is, Askin will make toxic to him. And I think, Tay, me and you talked about this too, where like if Askin could make Magellan toxic to himself, even though Magellan's poison, right? It's kind of like up in the air. But I believe that could happen. Whatever properties that Caesar can mix and make, Askin would be able to adapt to very easily. And, you know, kind of just fuck around and configure them himself. No one has texted me for work. I don't know where I'm going tomorrow, guys. I'm supposed to be leaving this place tomorrow. No one has hit me up, but it's not my job to keep track of them. So it is what it is.
Giving him a significant advantage. Gojo has a calm, analytical, and cocky nature for rarely taking fights seriously until he needs to. His confidence in his abilities will lead him to underestimate Caesar's speed and environmental manipulation.
Goddamn fucking buzz.
Caesar's oxygen removal and faster than light speed give him a strong chance of winning. He can exploit Gojo's reliance on oxygen and land decisive blows before Gojo can activate his domain expansion. However, Gojo's limitless technique and hollow purple provide him with a devastating offensive capabilities that could overwhelm Caesar if he lands a hit, but that's only if his unlimited void is able to activate in the fight. Ultimately, the fight would end in less than a minute. Caesar's speed and environmental manipulation give him a slight edge in the matchup. If Gojo can survive long enough to activate his domain expansion, he could turn the tide. But Caesar's oxygen removal is something Gojo has never fought against and works too fast to respond to, leading to Gojo's defeat. Winner, Caesar Clown.
Removing oxygen is a dope ability. That's a dope ability. But Askin can literally do the same thing. Well, Askin can make oxygen toxic. So hold up. Actually, if Caesar can remove oxygen, which would be lethal to Askin, never mind. All Askin would have to do is up his resistance to not needing oxygen. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind. I thought I had something. Sorry, Caesar. Thought you had me, but you didn't. That man is playing Gallagher. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. That was a nice video, though. I like that guy. Apparently, I won't like his Bleach videos, though, so we'll have to take a look at that. Askin and Mayuri are way too fast. Mayuri and Askin can easily handle Caesar. Yep. Mayuri is definitely drugging Caesar without him knowing. Yep. Lightning speed is slower than light. Agreed. Oh, yeah. Lightning speed is slower than light. Yeah. Yeah, better ninja is ambiguous, but stronger is used in context of strength, whether that be in ninjutsu or taijutsu. So, but here's the thing. You never know which one anyone is talking about because they never actually demonstratively talk about which one they're stronger in. They just say stronger. And then even then, that's not true. Because like I said, Sakura and Tsunade hit harder than 90% of the verse, yet they're weaker than 90% of the verse. Well, I can't say technically for Sakura, but yes, the fuck I can. Yes, the fuck I can. Yeah, I can. Like, here's a great example, right? At the time of Sakura versus Sorcery, Sakura was absolutely weaker than Sorcery. But guess what? After a little bit, Sakura could dodge all his attacks, and she still hit harder than him, but Sorcery was still technically the stronger fighter, even though nothing about his stats indicated he was stronger than Sakura. Not a single stat indicated he was stronger than Sakura. He was all Puppet Master Jutsu, and that was it. Let's not forget domain won't work on people with no cursed energy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Red, I have no idea what you're talking about. You said my boy is ready. No Diddy. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even want to be involved. Don't even want to be involved in that. Whatever you got going on. The biggest letdown in Bleach, Grimmy Thamo. Yo, what? How strong is Mash Burnhead? How old is his channel, yo? 27 videos. How strong is Luffy? East Blue. How strong is Luffy? New World. Maybe I should start doing how strong videos. How strong is Ichigo? Kurosaki Soul Society. Luffy's Godly Powers, Toon Force, Ghouls versus Titans. These are some interesting videos. Alright. That was a nice video, though. We can take it off the list. We can watch the peak later. I like this video. We can leave it at there. So that was that one. What's this one? Oh, okay, here it is. What it means to fight Uzumaki.
You love U.S. Cellular Home Internet because it's fast, reliable, and affordable.
Switch to U.S. Cellular Home Internet.
You know, it'd be fun. What if I did a live stream of watching Eon's live stream? Would that be fun? It'd be like a live audit of what he's doing in real time for us, though. Let me know what you guys think about that. Like, what if I went live the same time he did and joined his live on my live? That might be fun. I might have to do a live around his thing. My boy's ready now. No Diddy. Dang, was finna call Diddy. That's crazy. You said you were going to watch his Bleach vids. Did I say I was going to watch his Bleach vids tonight? I don't know if I said that. I might have said that. Sakura's Jisunade with slightly better stats. That's not doing much for her. If Kabuto without Orochimaru enhancements with one food pill can spar on par with Tsunade, you're not that guy. Like shit. Ab lied. Crazy work. I didn't lie. I've been meaning to watch this video for like 2 weeks now. Sasori's puppet body ate quite a few of her punches. Also, who said Sasori was stronger than Sakura? So it's very clear Sasori's stronger than Sakura because Sasori needed to get double teamed by both of them. If she was stronger and overall better in every stat, then it wouldn't take both of them to beat him. Number one. Number two, that'd be more due to Sasori's puppet body, not his actual physical body. So you can argue he can make things that can last. Like, you know, you can argue he can make things sturdy, but that's not his physical body. His lives are random. You know, his lives are pretty random, but there'd be some times where it's like overlap. And I'll see sometimes like he's live and I'm not really doing anything because I usually go live around like 8 o'clock anyway. So he'll be live and I'll be like chilling, doing some research. And I'm like, okay, well, I could go live now, but no, he's live now too. But one of these days, I think I will. Can't wait for Ab-Stract to do a live stream to a live stream to a live stream. That'll be fire. I don't know how I do that. I'd have to wait until 2 people have at least watched his live stream, then react to their live stream. That'd be fun as shit. I think 2 is the most we can go, though. Sasori's physical body is just the heart. Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. So when she punched his puppet body, you can't say, oh, his body took a few hits from her. No, that was his puppet body, the one he created to be sturdy. So yeah. Like, that was literally made to take hits from him. Or, yeah, take hits from people. Sasori is definitely stronger than Sakura during that time. Remember, Lady Chio said herself, Sasori could have killed them at any time, but he chose to die instead. Yeah, I don't know why Karibo's like arguing this. It took both of them to actually get even close to not even sealing him, but like outmaneuvering him. It took both of them. And her best attack, Shikamatsu's secret 10 puppets, White Secret Techniques, Shikamatsu's 10 puppets. It took both of them, her best attacks, and then they had to come prep with antidotes. Like, they were both obviously weaker than Sasori at that time. What do you think of Eon's Madara versus Sukuna video? I'm just too happy to hate on Madara more. But want to know your thoughts on the actual video. Yeah. So I like the way, so what I like about Eon is at least honest, right? He's honest. He'll come out and say, yeah, I don't think Sukuna beats any other version of Madara except this Madara, which is true. He doesn't have a shot against Jubidara. He doesn't have a shot against Edo Madara, right? Unless Sukuna can do soul damage and I don't know about it, right? So I like that aspect of it. And the fact that he's honest, right? It's like, yo, in real shit, the Sharingan can't track air pressure. Sukuna's slashes would be invisible to Madara. He would not be able to see them or perceive them. So, and he also doesn't have to gesture when he does an air slash. So when Eon posits that Sukuna might do that off of Madara being disrespectful, you might not like that the fight ends in 3 seconds, but motherfucker, that's what might happen at the end of the day. You say the wrong shit to Sukuna, you're just going to lose your head. And if you can't survive that, if you don't know his attacks or slashes, if he doesn't warn you by saying whatever he said to make them bow, he warned them. Right? If you don't know these things, you might lose your head. If you're Kakashi, you're losing your head. If you're Sasuke without using Susanoo, you're losing your head. If you're an Akatsuki member, you're losing your head. The only people I'd give grace to are the Raikages because their bodies are stated to be more durable. But even then, it's like, well, how much more durable? Are they like surviving Sukuna? I don't know. I'd give them grace, but it's still like, no. Like, anyone saying he can see their slashes is just using headcanon to assume that the Sharingan can see cursed energy or changes in air pressure or changes in the environment that only people with heavenly restrictions can fucking see and notice. Like, I'd give it to a Byakugan user. I'd give it to them before a Sharingan user, if anything. Like, what? Oh my god, that shit is strong, man. You did a live stream to a live stream yesterday with the Inception stream into the Kubo Cap stream. Yeah, that was funny as shit. I actually have to go find that live and clip it before it gets too lost into the files. I have to go find that live and clip it because that was hilarious. That was funny. What's up? Hey, what's good, Grid? How you doing, bro? Hey, yo, Grid. Wait, yo, Grid. Were you here the other day for that whole chakra conversation? I don't remember. You might have been. But it was a lot because I was reading fast. If you weren't, bro, go back and look at that chakra argument, bro. It's the wildest shit you might ever see. I think you might have been here for it, though. Well, cursed spirits are indeed spirits, so technically JJK does operate on a spiritual level to a degree. See, but if that were the case, then you would expect everyone to be able to do soul damage, but everyone can't. Some people need cursed tools. People can't even hurt Mahito like that. So, like, it's a yes and a no. Aspects of their power system are tied into the soul, and we can even watch my JJK's video, the mind-body problem for that. Because you have people like Granny Ogami who can use soul-based techniques to channel someone's soul that's died, right? And then you have Mahito's technique, which actually interacts with the soul, which means it is in the physical body. And then you have people like, who else? Someone else had a soul-based technique. I can't remember, but yeah. Nah, Sundays are date nights. I'll check it out when I have time. Okay, hey, no, good for you, bro. Shout out to you. Keep them date nights coming because, yeah, women, man, women. But, you know, definitely check it out live. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to start the video when I goddamn feel ready, Twain. You better, nigga, calm down. We're going to start the video. It ain't going nowhere. We good. We got all night. Spiritual energy and soul attacks aren't inherently the same thing. I agree with Red here. Red here, not red hair. But then again, he does have red hair because his name is Shanks. So let's start the video.
Eon was kind enough to give me a small synopsis of today's victim. Special guest. Naruto Uzumaki is some random orphan that no one likes. What a loser, am I right? Since I've been granted full autonomy over how I get the target's attention, I decided to kidnap that Teuchi guy from his favorite ramen spot and then made him watch as I served people bowls of ramen with my dirty fingers in the bowl. Oh, and I also dropped some white phosphorus missiles on the leaf while Naruto was asleep. That should probably be enough to get his attention, right, Eon?
Yeah, that'll probably do it. Also, I want to make it clear that
I like this. He's starting off strong. This is one of the most creative ways you can start off. Now, here's the thing, though. It might not work for everybody. But for Eon's fans, this is great. Because they already love him, number one. So when he's offering new things like this is dope. This actually, like shit like this inspires me to take my shit to the next level. That's fire. I like that. Keep it up, bro.
did not beg and grovel, nor did I have anything to do with all of that. War crimes aside, I think I need to establish the beginning of Naruto's journey so we can get a proper idea of how powerful the future 7th Hokage be.
Now, I'll say this, right? If he does that, like that little voice, the punching bag voice, and him back and forth, that'll be genius, bro. That's some innovative shit. Yo, clap it up for him, bro. Seriously, give W's in the chat for Eon for, like, that's breaking the mold to me, bro. That's breaking the mold to me. I like that.
Comes. At the very start of the series, Naruto Uzumaki was not an exceptional ninja by any means. He failed a graduation exam 3 times and couldn't even perform the most basic technique in the ninja handbook, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. After receiving some scumbag advice and stealing the forbidden scroll that was sealed away by the first Hokage, he spent about half a day training in an attempt to master the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Not only did he master this jutsu, but he went ahead and made it his own because the Shadow Clone Jutsu would end up becoming one of the key pillars of Naruto's arsenal. Imagine being able to create a clone of yourself that is solid, which means it can interact with the environment, and then multiplying that by 1,000. Naruto, as an Uzumaki, has one of the largest chakra pools in his village, even as a child. The Uzumaki were a clan of ninjas that were best known for their vast chakra reserves and life force. They were also feared for their sealing jutsu, but that's completely irrelevant within the context of this video. Having such massive chakra reserves means that jutsu with relatively large chakra consumptions, like the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, are a viable option for Naruto. He's also not just a loudmouth kid with a well of untapped potential. He's basically the poster child of the inner demon trope. Inside him lives the walking nuke factory that is the Nine-Tails fox spirit. The largest and strongest of the tailed beasts, Kurama is so powerful that its tails can level mountains and a single tailed beast bomb can wipe away an entire village. I could talk more about Kurama, but we're gonna leave that for later. Right now, all you need to know is that thanks to the Nine-Tails, Naruto also has a pretty damn good healing factor.
Try our sweet top lemonades in 3 delicious flavors. Live free, eat Sonic. You want to live free?
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix. Now this whole flow is a conversation, so your words actually build your website. I'm going for a store, and after a free-flowing conversation, I get this detailed site brief.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say walking nuke factory?
Sure did. Naruto's arsenal, at least at the start of the series, isn't that vast. While he did use the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu in the first chapter, it's a technique that he can only bring out when he really needs to protect something. So it's not a jutsu that he can just pull out of his ass whenever he wants. At least throughout a decent portion of the early story. He still has access to the regular Shadow Clone Jutsu, where he makes a couple of clones, and by couple, I mean enough to blow up a giant snake from the inside. He can also use the transformation jutsu, which, as the name implies, allows him to transform into objects or people. He's even developed a variant of this technique known as the sexy jutsu, or the ninja centerfold, which is exceptionally effective against grown men and goddesses.
A sexy jutsu? What kind of a perv comes up with this stuff?
I don't know, ask Kishimoto. Shinobi, even the more average ones, are much stronger than your average human. By the time of the Chunin exams, we get to see what other genin can really do, and among them, there is a snake in the grass. Orochimaru is one of the legendary Sannin and a complete weirdo. What he's doing, messing around with a bunch of 12-year-olds, I have no clue. He's like one of the strongest ninjas in the modern day who can make Naruto's teacher Kakashi, one of the strongest ninjas in the Leaf, almost shit himself. Naruto's team was attacked by 2 giant snakes summoned by Orochimaru, and Naruto beat both of them. He was swallowed by one of these aforementioned snakes, but like I said, he created so many clones he made it pop like a balloon. The other one slapped him away with its tail, which smashed him through 3 giant tree branches. This caused him to then retaliate with a single punch, which left the snake stunned. He then proceeded to stop it with brute force when it rushed in for Sasuke. A 12-year-old stopped a giant snake with brute force. Granted, this was all thanks to the Nine-Tails chakra. You see, under extreme stress or life and death situations, Naruto can call upon a small amount of Kurama's chakra, giving him an amp in speed and strength in addition to what some would call a rage boost. He was also capable of punching someone through ice that is so tough a giant fireball could not melt it. All in all, I definitely wouldn't want to be in his line of sight when he's pissed off.
Well, this is just Battle Shonen Slop. I'm sure he doesn't get much stronger than this, right?
As the Chunin exams progress, Naruto meets his godfather and future mentor Jiraiya, another member of the legendary Sannin. Jiraiya teaches him the fundamentals of the summoning jutsu. Granted, Naruto isn't that great at it. However, he later utilizes it to summon the giant chief toad Gamabunta while in 2 separate life or death situations. One of which happened to be against the one-tailed Shukaku, another walking nuke factory. You see, through some story-related shenanigans, Naruto ends up fighting against a partially transformed Jinchuriki named Gaara. While undergoing a host transformation, Gaara becomes powerful enough to rip straight through large tree branches as he leaps forward, and he can even withstand Sasuke's large fireballs. As the fight progresses, Gaara becomes more and more like Shukaku and can even shoot sand projectiles that blast straight through tree bark, which Naruto was able to withstand. He eventually outmaneuvers this freak and manages to shove an explosive, which he just so happens to carry, in Gaara's rear end, causing massive damage. He then summons 1,000 shadow clones and proceeds to jump the mentally unstable orphan who only wanted to play with his sand. Gaara finalizes his transformation, nearly kills Naruto, and because this is a life and death situation, Naruto gets a teeny tiny boost from Kurama and summons his own giant fucking kaiju in order to even the battlefield. Mind you, this is pretty much the second arc in the story. Naruto is pulling off some Kage level shit as a 12-year-old, and I genuinely can't think of that many active Leaf Shinobi that could pull off something like this. The summoning jutsu isn't a technique Naruto utilizes very often. However, if the situation were to call for it, he can eventually bring out some of the strongest toads that reside within Mount Myoboku.
So he's got an army of toads? That's kinda gross, but manageable.
Yeah, you keep saying that. During the following arc, Naruto spends a majority of it trying to learn the Rasengan, the jutsu that would be the second pillar of his arsenal. This jutsu is essentially a compressed sphere of spinning chakra modeled after a tailed beast bomb. It's probably one of the most versatile techniques in the entire story. For example, there's Rasengan, Big Rasengan, Red Rasengan, Really Big Rasengan, lots of Rasengans that sprout from his back, Rasengans with tiny little Rasengans around it, Really Big Rasengan, but he pulls you into it, and lots of orphans running with Rasengans. There really isn't much else to talk about here other than the fact that he was punched and stabbed by a grown man that's as strong as Kakashi, which he later put down with a single Rasengan.
So far, so good. Y'all see I haven't had to stop the video one time, right? Boy, know what he's talking about.
I'm still stuck on the giant.
Alright, let's see what y'all yapping about, though. Yeah, you and Eon have personality. On average power scales, there's some edge lords with anger issues. Both of you and him don't take it to heart. Which is dope. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. You still a Bleach glazer, though. Hey, yo, fuck you. I take it back. Let me stop playing. Yeah, nah, man, nah. That's dope. That's dope. Now, I will say, though, bro, I think, hey, yo, Red, you have to admit, bro. You have to admit, I don't glaze Bleach. I really don't. I'm one of the most conservative Bleach scalers on the internet. I think everyone can agree with this. I'm one of the most. I probably am actually the most conservative Bleach scaler on the internet. I have to be. I have to be. Do I objectively think the verse is stronger than Naruto and One Piece right now? Absolutely. Right? I objectively think that. Does that mean every character? Maybe not. But on the average, yes. But I don't get the verse to where they get the verse. And we all know who they is. If you don't know who they is, you might need to stick around for a few more lives. Yeah. I don't get the verse to where they get it. I'm one of the most conservative and fair and consistent Bleach scalers in my opinion. My humble opinion. I think I am. Naruto is a ninja. Naruto is Ninja Jesus. Neji was right about what he said to Naruto in the shooting exams. W. Facts. W. Eon, bro. I wonder how many dudes was down bad for Naruto's sexy harem jutsu like Jiraiya was. Man, oh man. I can only imagine. Naruto could have made a lot of money in the red light districts. Don't get too comfortable, Mobley. Kubo revealed yesterday that Byakuya is a gooner too. Did he? That's crazy. Kabuto wasn't grown yet, was he? Wasn't Kabuto like 3 to 4 or so years older than them? I think so. I don't know. But no, because Orochimaru met Kabuto when he was still a Jonin. Like, still working for the Leaf. So Kabuto got to be around Kakashi's age. At the very least. No, he has to be around Kakashi or Itachi's age, actually, at the very least. I'm definitely not agreeing with you with that. You're definitely a Glazer, and I think Bleach is the strongest, but it's due to hacks, in my opinion. So how am I a Glazer, but you think Bleach is also the strongest? That's crazy to me. 5D ain't a humble opinion. All right, so first off, I didn't say Bleach is 5D, first off. And I even put in the title 4D because that was actually a mistake to say 5D. I didn't mean 5D. Let me go get my food real quick. I'll be right back. Going, back to Cali, yeah. Going, back to Cali, yeah. I'll be back, you blacks. I'm the most consistent. I don't scale off of statements. I'm the most consistent. I don't wank. I only use the manga. I don't use guidebooks. I hardly use novels. How am I a Bleach Glazer? Doesn't make sense. If I'm a Bleach Glazer, what are these other guys? That's the question. Alright. Right. 5D ain't a humble opinion. Right. So, yeah, about the 5D thing, it was supposed to be 4D. And 4D, I can absolutely argue. I can argue it. Because it makes sense. I don't think you're using the word correctly. That he was tricked constantly by Yoruichi cat form. Bro, Royal Gooner. Oh, because he was tricked by Yoruichi's cat form. How would that make him a gooner, though? Unless you're saying Byakuya liked cats. I don't know. Oh my god, I just looked up, and Kabuto was 26 back doing training exams. That fucking wild. I thought he was like 15 to 16. Yeah, no, he would have had to be around like, well, 26 makes him older than Kakashi, I think, bro. That's crazy. I mean, it's Yoruichi Red. She's known for doing that. Hell, she was teaching Ichigo. That cleaner scaling makes me suspicious. So, all right, how does the cleaner scaling make you suspicious? The cleaner interacts, first off, the cleaner governs space-time, right? So there's a dimension in Bleach called the Dangai, aka the Precipice World, and that is where all of space-time is governed. That place is where space-time is governed. Interacting with the restrictive current can kill you by hurling you way into the future. I'm sorry. It can kill you by aging you. It can throw you off your axis in time, so you can arrive in the past, in the present, or in the future, etc., right? Right? The cleaner can interact with the things that do that to people, regardless if you're a spirit energy, regardless if you're a human, regardless if you're a hollow. The cleaner can interact with those things, right? The cleaner can interact with time. Living, unadulterated, unfiltered time. It interacts with those things on a daily basis. That would give it 4D resistance, not 5D. It would definitely give it 4D resistance, though, because it's not affected by, it's not constrained by time. It doesn't mean it's above time, because the cleaner still acts within time, right? I'm not saying it's above time, but it definitely has some 4D resistances to time. Like Julius Novachrono would not be able to stop the cleaner. Badagon's aging thing would not be able to stop the cleaner. No time abilities would work on it because it's kind of beyond those things. It still works within time, though. A person that's able to injure a being like that a person that's able to injure a being like that, you could argue, has 4D AP. Why? Because when all odds fail and nothing else can harm this thing, it's resisting time, it's resisting aging, it's resisting all these concepts, it's resisting spirit energy. But then when I transcend, when I go beyond, when I become that which is better than everything before me or after me, I can actually harm Kotetsu. Right. So when all these other things can't harm it, and it's existing in a state where time doesn't even affect it, and I can destroy it, there is a level of conversation that says, hey, you know what? That actually might be a 4D AP feat. Does this mean Aizen can't be affected by 3D people? No, absolutely not. He can still be affected by 3D people. This just means people on that level, that quote unquote dimension, are susceptible to his attacks because he can hurt the Kotetsu. Hope all that made sense. You are a glazer, and they're tards. Essentially, they said Goku losing to Ichigo or Aizen. LOL. I've never said Goku loses to Ichigo or Aizen. First off, I've never said it. How will Red react if I say Aizen would beat Goku in a skill and battle IQ situation? To be honest, you're more conservative than me. But then again, I always second guess myself, like what you mentioned about Badagon. Oh, so, well, do you think Badagon can interact with Kotetsu? That can easily be interpreted as just being space, time hacks, and time hacks resistance. It wouldn't necessitate that its durability scales there, and thus Aizen blowing it up wouldn't scale there either. That is a totally true and fair interpretation. That's a totally true and fair interpretation. All I'm saying is it leaves the door open for it. I never said we have to walk in the door. I never said I saw a party going in over there and I'm going to step into the door. I just think it leaves the door open for interpretation. Kakashi was also 26 during the Chunin exams, so they were the same age. Wow. That's weird because when Kakashi caught Kabuto in the hallway, he says more or less, kids like you need to stay out of adult business. That's crazy. The cleaner isn't dead, by the way. If you didn't know, Trip. So here's the thing. There are multiple cleaners. There's not just one cleaner, because the Dangai isn't just the one space connecting the world of the living to the Soul Society. That is the Dangai, but the entire Precipice world has multiple cleaners. The entire, like the Precipice world, it is an actual world. It's its own space. So there's more than one cleaner. That cleaner is absolutely dead, though. That thing ain't coming back. He's dead. Let's get back to the video. I'm going to eat. So I'm going to only talk when necessary.
Toad. How big did you say he was?
17 meters. Anyway, more story-related shenanigans happen. Sasuke overreacts a little about Naruto destroying the Leaf's only fresh water tank, so he goes to live with Orochimaru, that 50-year-old weirdo, because Konoha doesn't have any more clean drinking water, and Sasuke needs a healthy growing body in order to achieve his goals. Naruto chases after him with his band of water-hating freaks, and we get another battle shonen slop arc with a metric fuck ton of flashbacks that are even in the manga, that take up like half the page. We just went over all of this, why do we need some flashbacks? Naruto eventually reaches Sasuke after jumping a terminally ill snake worshipper who only wanted to spread the good word. He ends up having a civil disagreement with Sasuke, which resulted in him having an arm through his lung. Naruto succumbs more to the Nine Tails, now forming a chakra cloak, which can even protect him from Sasuke's cursed amped fireballs. He fails to bring back Sasuke and moves out of the village with Jiraiya in order to get away from this whole no more clean drinking water fiasco until the statutes of limitation run out in 2 years, which he spent training since he didn't have anything better to do.
Oh god, why is it always a 2-year time skip?
By the time he returns to the village and the legal system can no longer imprison him for his misdoings, Naruto certainly improved as a ninja?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, Naruto certainly became more proficient in his utilization of the Shadow Clone Jutsu and in the way that he could outsmart and misdirect his opponents. In fact, it's the reason why he could take Kakashi's tiny bell during his salty run back with the bell test. He also learned how to make a bigger Rasengan, and he could now technically dispel Genjutsu, but his training overall didn't amount to much. He just so happened to run into a weak clone of Itachi Uchiha, and couldn't undo his Genjutsu. Granted, it's not his fault, this is Itachi Uchiha whom we're talking about. He puts down the imposter with his bigger Rasengan, and he fails to use his Nine Tails enhanced brute strength in order to save Gaara, but don't worry, they do eventually get him. Compared to the training and amps he would later gain, Naruto's growth during his time with Jiraiya didn't really amount to much. Although that isn't really necessary when you can make clones of yourself to bile drive your enemy into the ground with a knee drop as the finisher.
He does seem more tame than the rubber boy. At this rate, I won't have much to worry about.
Funny you say that. See, he eventually runs into Orochimaru, who isn't doing too well. He lost his arms in his fight against Hiruzen 2 years prior, which caused him a great deal of pain, and he was being rejected by his current body, meaning he wasn't in his best shape. Orochimaru tells Naruto about all the fresh mountain spring water Sasuke's been chugging for the last 2 years, and being reminded of his past felony made Naruto succumb to the Nine Tails again, activating his version 2 Four Tails Cloak. In this state, he becomes a mindless, malleable creature that shoots mini nukes from his mouth, which Orochimaru could only stop by summoning his triple Rashomon gates. He then proceeds to show Naruto why he's known worldwide as the Throat Goat, and pulls out a giant sword the long way.
The long way?
The long way. Naruto survives being
Hey, yo,
stabbed
Ion is
again, and the
retarded,
next time
man.
he does anything impressive is during his training to perfect the Rasengan. You see, the Shadow Clone Jutsu also has the benefit of storing and uploading any experience that the clones may have acquired back to the user after the jutsu is released, which in turn rapidly promotes his growth as a shinobi. The two downsides of this method of training are that the user...
Alright, let me pause it real quick. Hey, Red, my fault. Hey, listen. If Kubo said that specific cleaner regenerated a week later, then fine. I'm wrong on that. But the Precipice world is an actual world, and there are multiple cleaners. But hey, if that's what the man said, that's what the man said.
needs to have extremely large chakra reserves, which he has, and all of the mental fatigue also gets transferred to the user. However, it's all worth it once Naruto reaps the rewards. The Rasen Shuriken is an extremely effective and dangerous jutsu. By applying the wind nature transformation to his Rasengan and improving its rotation and density with more shadow clones, Naruto created a jutsu that was so powerful, Tsunade, the 5th Hokage and world's best medical ninja, deemed it a forbidden technique that should never be used under any circumstance. The addition of wind nature chakra allows the jutsu to create countless blades that attack the target's chakra network and deals damage on a cellular level. Depending on the target, they may or may not survive it, since one of the paths of pain gets almost entirely disintegrated by it. Meanwhile, Kakuzu, its first victim, was only left crippled. So we can add abusing the elderly to this orphan's rap sheet. By this point in the story, Kakashi even claims that Naruto has surpassed him.
Well, who cares? That Kakashi guy didn't seem that impressive anyway. And you said he can't use it because it's forbidden, so why would I even worry about it?
Because he eventually perfects it and even creates a couple of variations.
Daddy, no!
Daddy, yes. There's the mini Rasen Shuriken, the super big Rasen Shuriken, the mini nuke Rasen Shuriken, and my personal favorite, the flavor of the month Rasen Shuriken, which we'll talk about later. Now, would you believe me if I said that up until this point, Naruto is still kind of ass?
How the hell is he kind of ass? You literally said he has a giant spinning ball of wind blade stuff that can attack you on a cellular level.
I mean, yeah, he can now make a metric boatload of shadow clones at will, and adding the Rasen Shuriken to his arsenal is no joke, but it may as well not even really be considered useful since the recoil his body suffers is too dangerous, and to top it all off, the Ninetales is still a liability. Naruto, up until this point, has only been scratching the surface of what he can really do. More story-based shenanigans happen, and Jiraiya is unalived. Depression strikes and leaves almost as quickly as it came, leading Naruto to train in Mount Myoboku, where he learned how to touch grass. In Naruto, touching grass results in one of the biggest and coolest amps in the entire series, Sage Mode. But not bad Sage Mode like Jiraiya, good Sage Mode like Jiraiya. Acquiring Sage Mode is no easy task, because one needs to have the right mixture of neurodivergency, qualities. A large chakra pool, fine chakra control, and the ability to sit around for multiple minutes without moving a single muscle are all necessary in order to achieve this power.
That doesn't seem too hard.
See, you say that now, but if you mess up, you could become a large toad stature.
Okay, so what makes it so great then?
I am so glad you asked. Sage Mode users gain enhanced sensory capabilities, allowing them to predict their opponent's next attack. Their bodies become so tough they can fall onto some sharp rocks and feel absolutely no pain. Their physical strength is increased to the point they can lift objects and other living things several
Agreed, Bleach hits 4D via not using the cleaner. So if you're not using the cleaner, are you just using Ichigo and Aizen? Because if you're not using the cleaner and you're just using Ichigo and Aizen, you know, it make sense for me. Nick, let me know. Kurohitsugi is also a space hack, but yet they make it clear Soul Reapers can't deal with the cleaner despite having Kido that essentially do the same. Oh, speaking of Orochimaru Ab-Stract, the guy that was arguing with me over him versus Killer Bee surrendered. Good. At what point did he surrender? What was the like closer that made him give up? Should we make a Mayuri versus Orochimaru related video, by the way? Or a Kisuke related video? Yes, both intelligence related. Heck, we can bring Aizen. If it's just about intelligence, I kind of think it's like pretty rudimentary, honestly. I think it logically follows that Kisuke is absolutely the smartest, followed by... Actually, the second one's hard just because Mayuri and Aizen really could go hand in hand. But then it would be Orochimaru. By the way, going to sleep tonight, right? Might be, I was looking for it. Q528. Got you, Red. Thank you for that. Orochimaru has no chance, Shinigami. I'd say Akon is smarter than him. Like shit. Orochimaru destroys Mayuri. See, Karibo's going to piss me off to the point where I make Orochimaru versus Mayuri. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
tens to hundreds of times their size. They can also utilize nature itself as a weapon, and their jutsu are enhanced, like the Rasen Shuriken,
No big deal, I just have to keep him away.
which he can throw now.
Fuck!
Naruto eventually fights Pain, the pseudo-leader of the Akatsuki, and the guy that also ended up destroying the Hidden Leaf. He showed up with 3 giant toads and Gamakichi. He got intel on how Pain's abilities work. He had a scroll that could essentially help him remove Sage Mode's biggest flaw by letting him reactivate it through Shadow Clone shenanigans. He took down a single path before the fight even began, meaning it was only a 5v1. The strongest path of Pain was on a cooldown after pushing the leaf away, and Naruto still lost. Yeah, turns out Pain was a problem. He was kind of, sort of, bailed out by Kurama in this fight, and he even goes up to 6 tails, which grants him this snazzy new bone armor. I could talk about this rampage and...
Ain't no kinda sorta. Naruto officially lost versus Pain. Naruto does not beat Pain. I'm gonna say this, no. Naruto beats Pain like maybe 2 out of 10 times in a like 1v1 encounter. In the times he beats them, or the times he beats him, he got really lucky. But Pain is objectively better than Naruto at this point.
the mini nukes and the small satellite Pain made, but honestly, the events of the war arc are much more impressive, so I feel like I'd just be wasting my time.
I feel like you're skimming over so much. I kind of need to know this information.
Oh, trust me. Everything that happens during this fight is essentially just a precursor for what happens in the 4th Great Ninja War. As a matter of fact, War Arc Naruto makes Pain Arc Naruto look like a hydrogen bomb versus a much smaller, less destructive bomb. I couldn't find a better analogy. On the bright side, the villagers switched up on Naruto after he saved them. They no longer hate him for being an orphan, so there's that.
Honestly, that's kind of fake. Didn't they treat him like hot garbage for like 12 years? And
you fooling?
So far, W video.
Just wanna pack up my things and go. Just wanna be free, just wanna zone.
And then they make fun.
You see how easy it is though to make a video when you're not like when you don't have to discuss AP, DC, speed, and all this other shit. You see how wholesome and full this is? What has power scaling done to us?
them for being an orphan too?
Yeah, you're probably right. Eventually, Naruto has enough of Kurama being a nosy freeloader when it comes to his fights, so he decides to employ animal abuse by forcefully taking Kurama's power for his own. He meets Mom, has a chat, and with the help of Mother Dearest and the 8 Tails Perfect Jinchuriki Killer Bee, he literally yanks Kurama until all of his chakra comes out. This allowed Naruto to achieve KCM, and oh boy, this form makes Sage Mode look slightly less impressive. KCM, or Ninetales Chakra Mode, is one hell of a transformation. This chakra cloak offers Naruto an increase in his defenses to the point he can withstand touching lava armor with only minimal injuries. He can now sense hatred in addition to other negative emotions, and he's now able to fully utilize chakra arms which he can sprout from anywhere in his body, which are great for creating Rasengans. Most notably, Naruto gains a massive amp to his speed and power. He can dodge a top speed punch from the Raikage, who was previously the fastest shinobi in the world. A is stated to move at almost the speed of light in the databooks, and the Japanese translation uses the term light like speed with the kanji gotoki, which is typically used for similes. This means Naruto dodging his top speed punch is anywhere between a light speed to FTL feat, depending on how one chooses to interpret it.
Hold on, this guy can also run at the speed of light? Do any of these authors know how fast the speed of light actually is? This does not seem very realistic in the slightest.
Yeah, and you're a talking sandbag who commits war crimes. Shut up.
Well, this had nothing to do with me, but okay.
Naruto single-handedly turned the tide of the war in the Shinobi Alliance's favor once he joined. He took out a large number of white Zetsu with his special assortment of Rasengans. Since he could sense their negative intent, he could easily tell who wasn't on his side and quickly dispatched them. The war arc did a fantastic job at displaying the massive improvements Naruto could undergo in quick succession. Since he could now make a few shadow clones that can also maintain KCM, he could divide and conquer multiple war fronts while also gaining the experience his clones may have acquired. We also got to see his ingenuity in certain fights, like his battle against the Edo 3rd Raikage, whom he defeated by using Sage Mode's danger sense and greater reaction speed in order to perfectly time a counterattack. By this point in the story, Naruto has acquired a level of skill and combat prowess that should be on par, if not greater, than most active elite shinobi and even Kage level fighters. A single shadow clone defeated the aforementioned 3rd Raikage in a one-on-one with some help and intel. This same shadow clone also survived the aftermath of 2 meteors falling on a platoon he was fighting with after one of them was seemingly stopped by Gaara and Inoki. He then went on to create a fuckton of shadow clones in order to stop Madara Uchiha from sprouting a forest by slamming the growing tree roots with a cornucopia of Rasengans. Naruto eventually runs into white-masked Obito and fights his fellow reanimated Jinchuriki alongside B. The fight is somewhat even until the other
Time to prep Mayuri feats afterwards. Oh, wait. He surrendered this morning from my last response to bunking Orochimaru using his intelligence to manipulate other village to attack Killer V. So, you had a debate to where the man said, yeah, in a fight against Orochimaru and Killer B, Orochimaru is just going to get other people to attack Killer B? That's ridiculous. Intelligence, Orochimaru has made creations on par with better than Mayuri in less time and with less resources. If we're talking a fight, Mayuri's stats are extremely lacking. Now that's facts. I would have been pissed if the villagers that treated me like crap for over half my life all of a sudden wanted to use common sense and act right without apologizing. And they switched up on him because convenience. Like, oh, he just saved the village. Now let's love him. 793 billion, 764 million billion to the 24th eons old. What inventions? Good question. What inventions does Orochimaru have? Please let me hear them. Third party opinion. Ayo, third party. Are you John or are you someone else? I don't remember. You told me yesterday. I don't remember who you are though, because you changed your username. LOL. Oh, I don't know. Resisting or using time powers does not make one 4D. Just saying. Okay, so Nick, under your purview, what would make someone 4D? I might have it wrong. Please tell me. What would make someone 4D?
Jinchuriki assume host transformation, which leads them to somewhat overpower the duo. Kurama finally decides to put some respect on Naruto's name, and the two finally cooperate, allowing him to achieve his own host transformation in addition to an advanced version of KCM, more commonly referred to as KCM2, the sequel. Unlike the other tailed beasts, Naruto can form a giant Kurama avatar, kind of like his own personalized Megazord. With it, he absolutely thrashes all of the other tailed beasts relatively easily in an all-out kaiju brawl, which is pretty sick, but how powerful.
I'm about to eat my burger, and I can't have you guys watching me eat my burger on stream because it might look nasty. Y'all gonna be like, ew, look at Rat. Y'all gonna be like, ew, look at Ab-Stract's fat ass eating that burger. They're gonna be like, stop bullying me, stop. I'm changing here. Alright, let's get back to it.
Is he? When he achieved KCM2, Kakashi and Might Guy were about to be blown to Kingdom Come by 5-tailed beast bombs. Naruto ran in and flicked away all 5 bombs in a flash, which caused 5 separate mountains to explode. After he forms his avatar, the 5-tailed beasts pulled together their chakra in order to make an even larger bomb, and Naruto cancelled it out by shooting his own tailed beast bomb at a lower angle, causing them to shoot upwards. Meaning, even with only half of Kurama, he's more powerful than 5-tailed beasts, and he's now gained full access to the walking
Ugh. None of these work for me. by Mario, Hooded Beauty, Kerastase in Beauty. All the hottest beauty products you won't regret, only at Sephora.
Hey you look thirsty. Try this mango pineapple $3 medium Dunkin' Refresher.
Eat your burger with Saiyan pride.
$3
Hey, yo, I can almost hear that through the screen. That's fucking hilarious. Also, just so we're clear, I'm a vegetarian. This is a veggie burger. I'm out.
Maybe kidnapping the ramen guy was a bad idea.
Oh, I'm sure he's willing to hear you out before he blasts you with enough force to wipe out a mountain range. Anyway, one thing I haven't talked about is stamina. As the series progresses, Naruto's stamina improves dramatically like his other stats, but it's a bit difficult to properly pinpoint how long he can really fight. You see, one of the initial conditions for using KCM is that while he uses Kurama's chakra to assume and maintain the transformation, Kurama is feeding on his own chakra reserves, which would result in Naruto dying. This would later become a non-issue once he and Kurama gain full cooperation, but before that, he was extremely tired after fighting Itachi, Nagato, the Edo Kage, the Zetsu army, and the reanimated Jinchuriki. The amount of time before his introduction to the war and this first point of exhaustion isn't quantifiable, but he was spamming jutsu out the wazoo. He gets a second wind when Kurama decides to cooperate and only tires out again 2 more times. Once after the Ten Tails causes its cataclysm, and the final time during his final battle with Sasuke. All in all, he did spend about 2 full days fighting while spamming jutsus of various large scale, but it's something worth noting.
You know, everything I did was thoroughly calculated, but now that I think about it, maybe the white phosphorus was a bad idea.
Speaking of calculating, Kurama just so happens to be the best partner for Naruto. Even though he is the #1 unpredictable ninja, Naruto's ability to analyze the more complex parts of his opponent's arsenal may sometimes be a little lacking. That's not to say that he can't do it all on his own, but Kurama is pretty much one of the smartest characters in the verse from a tactical combat perspective. He quickly figured out an easy way to properly combat Obito's Kamui. He coordinated with B, Guy, and Kakashi in order to figure out a way to fight the Ten Tails, and if we're talking Boruto, he developed a method by which he could form a new type of energy in a similar process to nuclear fusion.
Are you seriously telling me the giant fox is a nuclear physicist?
Yeah, but that's only in Boruto. The war arc continues to escalate, the Ten Tails is revived, and Naruto learns how to share his chakra with the rest of the Alliance, allowing them to get an ample boost. Kakashi mentioned that the chakra Naruto was handing out was 3 times greater than the chakra Kurama granted him when they were fighting Obito. By using himself as an intermediary, Naruto can make Kurama's chakra compatible with anyone, which means if he wanted to, he could grant an
Y'all know what? I don't want to get copywritten. I forgot. If I don't at least show my face, I might get copywritten, and we can't have that. So let's show face while we eat a burger. The burger. The burger. It's for all you that said I'm afraid to eat a burger on cam. Here it is. I hope you're happy.
Entire army of superpowered ninjas, a defensive cloak that both heals them and grants a massive boost in power. Oh, and he can also make a giant chakra bird too, I suppose. Naruto's progression throughout the war arc is kind of weird, because he's likely growing more and more powerful as he fights, or at the very least, his synchronization with Kurama is improving to the point where he can fully utilize the Nine Tails chakra and all of its benefits without any real drawbacks. The real issue at hand is that there really isn't a way to quantify how much stronger he's become. His ability to grant others Kurama's chakra, while impressive, also comes at a cost to his own stamina, since he's been fighting non-stop for over a day now, and controlling that much chakra can't be easy. The revived Ten Tails eventually evolves into its 3rd state and causes a massive cataclysm which is akin to multiple natural disasters all occurring at the same time. Thanks to Kurama's chakra, Naruto was capable of protecting the entire alliance. He did suffer quite a bit of damage and needed to be healed right afterwards, although it didn't take too long before he could reassume KCM. Sandbag, are you still listening?
Oh yeah, totally. Say, do you happen to know if white phosphorus burns are treatable? Maybe aloe vera could work.
I think I'll just continue.
Are you ready? I talked to my healthcare provider about Lybalvi. That's Lybalvi. Ask your healthcare provider about Lybalvi by name. Find out more at Lybalvi.com.
time's running out. Catch the final days of the Memorial Day sale at Ashley. Don't miss our incredible selection of hot buys starting at just $2.99, plus 0% interest for 72 months. Shop in store and online. Only at Ashley.
More story-related shenanigans happen. Obito becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, Naruto figures out Senjutsu works on him, and now combines KCM2 with Sage Mode for a super massive power-up. Almost everything Naruto does from here on out ends up being a shared feat with someone else. He slams a giant Senjutsu-enhanced Rasengan at Obito with his dad, and he performs the Majestic Attire Susanoo with Sasuke. The only other thing he kind of pulls off at this point is the Talk no Jutsu on Obito, but I don't think he'll be resorting to it when it comes to Sandbag.
Oh, come on. You don't know that. I can be reformed. I already let the ramen guy go.
Dude, you bombed the leaf with white phosphorus. No one told you to do that.
You said get his attention by any means.
So you thought chemical warfare was the way to go? This isn't even his final form.
What kind of Dragon Ball shit is this? Are you telling me there's a KCM3?
Well, not exactly. Naruto calls Obito out for being an asshole and tells him all about the water tank situation and explains to him that if an ex-felon like himself can be reformed, then so can he. The Alliance yoinks out all of the tailed beasts from Obito, Madara gets revived and pulls an Uno reverse and yoinks them back into the Ghetto Mazo, turning himself into the Ten-Tailed Jinchuriki. Naruto nearly died.
Alright, real quick, let's just catch up. Animal friendship active. Didn't Kabuto upgrade Edo Tensei, not Orochimaru? That actually should be true. I don't remember Orochimaru upgrading it. But then again, you might argue that Kabuto only learned it from Orochimaru, so maybe that. Not much of that is impressive compared to Mayuri making functional dummy organs in less than an hour on the spot, compared to Orochimaru doing it in the safety in his lab, or him creating the Izanami. Actually, let me read the ones Karibo said. He said the curse mark, upgraded Edo, implanting wood style, genetic research that allowed Kabuto to upgrade himself, creating log in Mitsuki in Byakugan glasses. So Orochimaru is getting smoked on the technological side, but as far as the human interface interaction side, I'd say he's doing good. But Mayuri did create a living soul from nothing. That's different than creating a body. Mind you, that's different than creating a body. He created a living soul. He might not have been the first to do it, but Mayuri did do it. He created a living soul. He upgrades and modifies his own Bankai to kind of make it an all-needs or an all-purpose Bankai. He created the spirit analyzing bugs. He created a chair that could stop Sosuke Aizen's power. He created the restraints that hold Sosuke Aizen and Muken. He created Kenpachi's eye patch that can eat spiritual energy. He analyzed the Garganta with practically zero prep time and stabilized it and allowed Captain Personnel to pass through. He revived dead people like his zombie corpse unit. All of them were killed by the Hekias. He revived them. What else? He made weapons that are effective on the Soul King's hand. What else? Yeah. Mayuri literally rearranged the veins in his arm with one hand in just a few seconds. Literally created an infinitely growing creature, Nemu, from nothing. Exactly. Mitsuki is a better creation than Nemu. Mitsuki is a better creation than Nemu. Mitsuki is just a clone of Orochimaru. Mayuri made a fully living operational soul from scratch. Tell me when Orochimaru creates a soul and then gives that soul a body. Because Mayuri created a soul. He created a Kanpaku. He created that. Also figuring out how to take control of someone else's zombies after seeing it once and in that same day in less than a few minutes, and how to cure them outright. Mayuri also created the reishi locking devices for Bambi's bombs. He also created that. Mayuri also outfitted his lab to not have any shadows after learning the Quincy's use shadows in one fight. He did that in less than 8 hours. If you get the times from when they attacked to when he found out that information, it was less than 8 hours. Fun fact, I was vegan twice in my life. Longest I went was 8 months. Hey, yo, good for you, bro. Good for you. That's fire. No, real shit, that's fire. Good for you. Mitsuki doesn't grow infinitely. Mitsuki does. Infinitely? I don't know about that. Nor was he created from nothing. He was. No. He's actually a clone. Wasn't created from nothing. Mitsuki is a clone of Orochimaru. That's not from nothing. What makes someone 4D? Assuming we're talking about a physical and not spiritual, someone like the Sims watcher would be closer to 4D. So you mean like from our perspective, like if we're playing The Sims and me as the person can watch The Sims, do you mean like that? The third dimension is seen as a paper map. Nothing really holds a 4D back. Aizen and the Cleaner are still... Oh, Aizen and the Cleaner still are. What can you use to put Bleach to 4D? Yuha threatening to destroy all the 3 realms is a good showing. Okay. Okay, so you get it off of Yuha destroying reality, basically. Or you get it off of him destroying the realms that hold time per se. See, but even that wouldn't be right necessarily, because time is a product of change. Time as a concept is a product of change. Time can't be quantified if there's no change going on. If there's no change, you therefore do not have time, because there are no moments to track what's going on or what has happened. So if you can only quantify time by change, if you're destroying the universes, you would have to destroy the entire spaces. Like the entire spaces. Like nothing could be left. It's not about just destroying the planet, the stars, and the moon and the earth. No. The entire space would have to not exist. So if you mean like that, then yes. I could agree with that. There's 2 Mitskis. The older brother Mitsuki and Boruto boyfriend Mitsuki. Both are Mitsuki and both are clones. That's true. They are both Mitsuki. They are both clones. But they weren't made from scratch. They weren't made from scratch. They're literally a part of Orochimaru. They are his cells. And he hasn't made a soul yet. Yuha is 5D casually. Check the line in Bleach dimensional. Check the line or linear in Bleach dimensional scaling. You know what? I'm gonna watch that video. When one of these days we're gonna watch that video. Probably when if Revenant was here, we probably will watch his video tonight. Espada, when you get here, mind blowing. Like shit. What's good, Espada? How you doing, bro? How is Mitsuki better? Nemu is more developed person. Plus that just makes the organ feat more impressive. Yeah. So like all of Orochimaru's feats. Yeah, his name is Log. That's true, Karibo. All of Orochimaru's best feats though. Like, see, here's the thing. Mayuri touches everything Orochimaru does and goes beyond. Like, Mayuri deals with working on clones. He deals with working in genetics. He deals with working with organs and all this other stuff. Orochimaru doesn't step in Mayuri's field, though. Like, when it comes to technology, when it comes to going beyond, like, actually creating a soul, Orochimaru ain't doing that. He's not doing that. And we can't even give him the Edo Tensei. We can't even give him the Edo Tensei. He didn't create that. He learned that from the second Hokage. So I wouldn't even give him that. Mayuri didn't learn creating a Konpaku from anybody. He didn't learn it. Like, what I mean learn, Orochimaru had to go find the scrolls to actually learn how to do this. Hey, what is this jutsu? Oh, you can bring people back from the dead. Oh, yeah. Mayuri didn't read no scrolls about that. At the very least, not another man's work like that.
Talks to Ninja Jesus and is now granted Six Paths powers alongside Sasuke. In addition to a spiffy new outfit, Naruto can now call upon the chakra of all the other tailed beasts in order to perform what I like to call the flavor of the month Rasen Shurikens. The lava-style flavor could sever the gigantic god tree that sprouted from the Ten Tails, which dwarfed mountains. This brand new Six Path Sage mode comes with an assortment of new abilities. To start things off, think of it like an even better version of Sage mode that allows Naruto to gain an unconscious mastery over levitation. He's now got access to all 5 chakra nature transformations, in addition to Yin Yang release and the specific Kekkei Genkai of the tailed beasts. He's virtually immune to any ninjutsu that isn't bolstered by senjutsu or Six Path powers, meaning only physical blows of the highest order can hurt him. His sensory abilities improved to the point he can now sense Madara's limbo clones, which exist in a separate dimension, and he's acquired some truth-seeking orbs. The TSO are extremely busted. They are small black orbs that are entirely malleable and have the power to easily obliterate entire forests. Let's not forget that he can also combine them with his Rasengans in order to make even larger spinning nukes of death that can now blow up meteors. Sandbag, are you...
Damn, I can't find a Mitsuki side story. Anyone know a good site? I didn't know there was a Mitsuki side story. What does the side story have in it?
Okay.
It's happening again. Why does this keep happening to me?
Oh, come on. Look at it on the bright side. He doesn't have his truth-seeking orbs after the war. I think I better wrap this one up. Okay, so Madara gets cucked, Kaguya shows up, and Naruto attempts to seduce her with the reverse sexy jutsu. While fighting her alone, he uses boil release to give himself unparalleled physical strength and sends Kaguya flying. He makes thousands of clones to jump Kaguya, who resorts to teleporting to another dimension in order to avoid it. With the help of Sasuke, he's capable of catching Kaguya with the flavor of the month Rasen Shuriken barrage, which destabilizes her. All it took to bring down Kaguya was some good old-fashioned teamwork and a sucker punch in order to end this whole kerfuffle and save the day. Naruto and Sasuke have their final battle, and the only thing I need to talk about is the fact that he had Kurama touch so much grass that he could combine 3 separate Kurama avatars and then form 2 giant Six Paths tailed beast Rasen Shurikens in order to clash with Sasuke's Indra's arrow, which also had the power of the 9 tailed beasts. This resulted in what could possibly be the largest explosion in the series that would have certainly killed anyone else caught in the jutsu. Like, no kidding, even they barely survived it. So, what does it mean to fight Naruto Uzumaki? Well, we're talking about a guy who can move at faster than light speeds, has a healing factor that can regrow a punctured lung if necessary, has enough stamina that he can fight for 2 days straight while spamming some of the largest jutsu in the verse while only requiring a short break every now and then. He can make thousands upon thousands of clones that can do everything he can do and that can transfer any experience they gain back to him. His signature move has like 15 different variations, and there's even an advanced variant that has like 5 more variants each with different flavors. He has the strongest walking nuke factory that can grant him a chakra cloak, which makes more arms so that he can pelt you with more Rasengans, and he can even withstand multiple natural disasters at the same time. He can fly, walk on water. He has access to an even more powerful transformation that lets him use the abilities of all the other walking nuke factories. He can sense where his opponents are based on their negative emotions, and finally, whenever he wants to, he can create a giant 3-headed flying fox avatar that can throw the shonen equivalent of a hydrogen bomb. Oh, and if the situation calls for it, he can transform himself into an attractive male or female to lure his opponent's guard.
Eon, I think I see him. We gotta get out of here.
We? What do you mean, we? When did you start speaking French? I didn't commit any war crimes against the Leaf. There is no we. You are you, and you are screwed!
This isn't a time for your bullshit, Eon. Where the hell are you going? Eon, damn it! Stop ignoring me! Ah!
Here we go, Kurama!
Poor little sandbag.
Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and share and subscribe. Does it really help?
Now, what's hilarious about that is, though, the irony of Sandbag being the strongest person in the verse, because we're going to see him again absolutely fine from Naruto's attack, just like he was fine from Luffy's attacks and all this other stuff. So yeah, that was funny though. Good video. Let me finish it entirely.
Helps out the channel, and it's good for Sandbag. Really helps his morale. I'll catch you all in the next one. I kind of gotta go to the hospital. Peace out.
Yeah.
What if
good
you
video.
can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want"? With Wix, you can't.
Good video. All right. So now we're just going to kind of yap for a while my girlfriend, I'm sorry, my fiance, while my fiance gets ready to call. Pisses me off how much Scorch Release is. Oh, how OP Scorch Release is, and we only see it one time. Yeah. Scorch Release was kind of crazy. Just go to episode 38 of 41. Even if Muken is a 4D space, that would not automatically give a dimensional transcendent over it. Oh, dimensional transcendence over it. Time also is not a dimension, lol. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Some people make time the fourth, quote unquote, dimension. I don't I don't know. But here's the thing: if you guys watch Loki, the Loki TV series, if you watch that series, you like, as much as you want to say like Kang the Conqueror. Actually, no, we're not even gonna get into that because I'm gonna confuse myself. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna confuse myself if I start talking about that shit. That's the story where we find out Mitsuki's origins. I think that happens in regular Boruto, though. I don't know. Kuribo, fuck those episodes. I want to reread the manga version. I love Kishi art style. Downplaying Sakura, calling it a sucker punch. It was a sucker punch, though. Also, didn't Orochimaru also create Shin? I know Shin create his fellow clones. So, I mean, but him creating Shin is really just him creating more clones. That's not hard, bro. Creating a clone isn't hard. Create new life. Create new life. Create a soul. Create something original. All he's doing is like taking things that already exist and making like, you know, we can clone a fucking sheep. We have imitation meat. That's not impressive. Like we made clones, real clones, way before Orochimaru did. IRL. Check this document. It explains Bleach dimensional scaling the best. Did you put it in the chat? How do I check it, bro? I would love to check it. Shin's body just doesn't reject things, which makes him great for research. Boy, oh boy. This thing, man. Bum ba da bum ba da bum. Yapping for an hour about Naruto versus One Piece matchups. Yeah, see, I might do a stream within the stream on this one, or I might just watch this on my own time. Kind of depends. Ranking the Biju isn't that simple. Useless, average, godlike. Bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum. Okay. Burrito is destroyed. Hey, yo, Robert. Robert and Espada, your guys' profiles look way too fucking similar. I almost called you Espada. Robert. You can't copy and paste it. Here, let me put my Discord in the link real quick. And then you can send it to me on Discord. Let me see if I can find it. Where's my profile? Alright, I think that's it. Ab-Stract 1570. Yeah, Spot, if you have Discord, bro, you can send it to me on Discord. Can't copy and paste. We've been able to clone animals since World War II with the technology they had at the time. Exactly, bro. Like, cloning is not impressive. Create a soul. Do something new. Like, no. Dang, I'm super late. What's up, man? Hey. Here we go. Chaos Age. The spirit of the wrath has entered the chat. What's good, bro? How you doing? How you doing? We didn't do too much tonight. We just kind of watched some videos, went over the Logia scaling as far as like Alkainu being able to hurt Ace, and we figured out why he was able to hurt Ace. Essentially, I'll give you the cliff notes. Essentially, fire can be suppressed by magma because magma has the ability to smother flames, and flames need oxygen to survive. So if there's no oxygen for the flames because magma is smothering them, then that actually would make sense why Ace can turn solid when magma gets on him, thus allowing Alkainu to burn him. That's essentially what we went over. Done. Yeah, I saw it, Spotter. Thank you, bro. I saw it. Oh, you accept them, but not your fellow brother. So you were asking for my Discord. Hey, bro, my fault. Nah, you can get my Discord too, right? Shit. Hold up, I got you, bro. I thought you were asking for something else. 1570. Yeah, nah, Red, that's my fault, bro. I didn't know you wanted my Discord. I thought you was, you know. Orochimaru doesn't have the resources of Mayuri, and he's still competing. So, like, he's competing on the, like I said, the physiological side of people and experiments on people. He's competing in that aspect. But to say he doesn't have the resources is crazy to me. How wouldn't he have the resources? He literally works for the Leaf Village now, number one, sanctioned. And then number two, he created his own village that has its own economy and stuff like that. So I don't know about all that. That's what I mean. Mayuri has made a curse mark. Mayuri hasn't made a curse mark. He's not giving them the equivalent of Sage Mode. He made her a Shinigami. What are you talking about? Why would he need to give her those things in the first place? His goal wasn't to make a warrior. It was just to make a person that could learn and grow. She became what she is, partially because of him, but more so because she wanted to. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Never made a curse mark. Yeah, why would he need to make a curse mark? Nigga said, nah, I want the Discord that y'all squabbling in. I need that. Yeah, nah, you ain't getting that, homie. I can't have you running amok in that Discord. Nah, you gotta find that your own way, bro. I ain't, no. Got you a spot. I'm gonna take a look at it tonight, bro. But Kubo did reveal Aokiji does target the older generation of Quincy first before going after the younger Quincy, but also that the younger Quincy do have a somewhat resistance to it. That's exactly true. Kubo did say that the younger Quincy are much more, they're stronger, basically. They're younger, they have more vigor, and the Aokiji doesn't automatically kill them like the older Quincy's because the older Quincy aren't as strong, they're older, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, that's absolutely true. Are you ready to talk now? Yes. All right, gang. We out of here. Thanks for showing up. Like the stream. Share the video. We out. I still have to consecrate some time out for Toshiro versus Kakashi. Like, I already know. We all know how the fight's going to go. I actually just have to do the goddamn thing. So I'm going to get on that. But you guys take it easy. Which is why Basby, etc. could still use their powers. Exactly. Exactly. But we out, y'all. Take it easy.